Jeff back again. Baseball cards, they're only friends. Super short prints they collect. The rarest of cards, yeah, respect.
Wow. Where does that time go?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get it, Jeff. I swear it goes from 5:05 to 5:59 in my house so fast.
It does go fast. Wow. Well, it's Thursday, I think. We've been on so many times this week, I can't remember what day it is, but I believe it's Thursday.
It's good to be back at our regular time. Same bat channel, same bat place. It's good to be back.
It's good to be back. It is good to be back. Happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome to Blabbing About Slabbing. Quite the week in baseball. A lot of big news that does affect players widely collected in the hobby. So lots to talk about tonight. Steve Clifton says it must be sweeps week. Yeah, we're trying to get that ad revenue coming in. Yes. Thanks, Ryan. Glad you caught us.
Nice. Hey, is this true, JD Cards? The first time since 2003. That is incredible. Good for the Royals. And I saw Caglione. What do you have? 2 home runs, I think, Jeff?
Did he really?
Yeah.
Well, that sounds right because he's on my bench. So excellent spot for him. Yes, we're confusing curator. Here, we'll fix that. There we go.
Better. Yep.
Okay. So where do we start? Devers in San Francisco. Ohtani back on the mound. Some crazy IG posts we've seen. We did a PSA drop-off at Burbank. A lot going on.
All kinds of fun stuff, Jeff. Yeah, I got some paper. Give me hold on. Man, I am so, for someone who has so little going on, I am disorganized all the time. It's really embarrassing. Yeah, I saw a post that said Ohtani, the Ohtani's pitching debut for the Yankees, for the Dodgers, was the most watched game in MLB TV history. That's absurd.
I think that's more of an indictment on MLB TV ratings probably than anything else. But yes, possibly. It still is. Yeah.
Raul Banaga, what's up? Go Braves. Cheers to all our fellow Thursday cocktailers. Ooh, Jeff with a nice Cutwater there. Which one is that?
It's the White Russian, Chris.
Wow, that is very Lebowski of you.
Yes. My White Russian out of my 82 Brewer Cup.
It's a lot of all right, so let's start with the thing I want to talk about. Ooh, didn't fall asleep tonight with the kids, so live tonight. Nice. Yeah, I got to tell you guys, I started Clay Holmes like in every fantasy league I have, trying to get the Braves offense jump started. And unfortunately, we do use strikeout to walk in a couple of those leagues, but I could care less about my ratios, Jeff, if it means the Braves are going to score some runs.
And did they?
They did. All of 3 runs.
That qualifies as some for sure for this year's Braves.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, hold on. I did want to start. Let's not talk about it.
All right.
He looks really good in his uniform. Okay. And, covered center field really well.
Plays some good defense on occasion too.
Okay, give me a second. I want to start with what I thought was the coolest card I saw this week on Instagram, Jeff. And it might be the card of the year. The 2025 Topps card of the year. All right. Am I overselling it? You bet. But it's
probably
still, we're going to look at it and we're going to be impressed by it.
All right. If we read something bad in the paper about JD Cards tomorrow, we'll know why.
Yep.
Good luck. Good luck.
Oh boy. Yep. Maybe get a Google alert for a lawnmower accident. We're not sure what town you're in, but if you want to just give us a heads up. All right. So here we go. Are you ready? I think this is the early nominee for the Topps Card of the Year 2025.
Card of the Year. Let's see.
This comes from Atlanta Sports Cards on Instagram. I have too many tabs open. Atlanta Sports Cards on Instagram. This is the first one of these redemptions I've seen fulfilled. And this is just spectacular. We've seen dual autos of these two guys, Jeff, like in Heritage, and I think maybe even in Stadium Club.
Stadium Club, yeah.
And I think they have but it's all headshot stuff. Look at this. This is an image of the two of these guys on the field, both signed on card.
Love it. And now, is that a Topps Tribute logo in the center? I'm just so.
You bet it is. It's from Topps Tribute.
Interesting choice of sets to put it in, but it's a great shot. It does remind me of a Stadium Club card.
It
You've
does.
got the full bleed all around the side, just a little design on the bottom. Left room to sign right over their white pants. Perfect.
Yeah, we've talked about this insert set before at a tribute. They actually did reuse, in fact, the Stadium Club image. A Will Clark, Mark McGuire duel is in the set. I think we showed that one before, but this is just awesome. And yeah, this is amazing. I think the base is numbered at, I'm not sure, but the red's at a 10. And I love, like, it's just before the handshake too, Jeff. Something about that, like the timing of it, like they're both smiling. Sure, Trout probably has some tears behind that smile for, but what a card, right?
Yeah, that's a great card. It's almost a symbolic passing of the hobby torch, the flame. Trout was definitely the it guy for the especially the first half of the 2010s, even into the second half. And now it's unquestionably Ohtani with Judge somewhere in their distant second.
Yeah, so there's a couple of these that have been out that weren't redemptions. The Corbin Carroll with Longoria. That one you can look at on eBay. There's Jordan. I'm getting better at that. There's Jordan with Altuve, and the two Phillies, Ryan Howard and Jimmy Rollins. Those are I think those were all live. They're up on eBay if you want to take a look at them. But there's a couple other pairings we haven't seen yet, including Trout, Bobby Witt Jr. I really want to know what picture they chose. I want to see what those two autos look like. Man, I want to see that card, Jeff.
Yeah. Yes.
Nice. Hold on. Perfect transition here. Emophobic. I was thinking the same thing. When I look at that card, I absolutely see this. Like, kaboom! Greatest handshake in the history of cinema.
Yeah, now if Trout and Ohtani just rolled up their sleeves a little bit like that. Hey, Rye Can, thank you for this compliment. You don't even collect baseball cards anymore, but still listen to us blab about it. So much appreciated.
Yeah, that's, to quote Andy Samberg as Nicolas Cage, that's high praise.
Nicolas Cage.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely, JD cards. Yeah. I love this card. I'm going to keep my eyes peeled. I think one of these sold for like some stupid amount. How much would that sell for today? Well, it's a today car, 7 Costanza. So let's see if any of these have actually sold. I can look real quick while Jeff wipes the drool from his mouth looking at it.
Ooh, yeah.
Let's see. I don't think any have sold as of yet. Yeah, currently none have sold.
Into the 4 figures for sure.
Yeah, but I would guess at least 1,000, maybe more, probably about a $1,500 card would be my guess, especially the first.
I would say almost even. I could see these going for $2K. If there's not that many of them, I could see that.
Yeah, because Jeff, what percentage of Topps Tribute do you think gets ripped? It was an expensive box. I think we were told it was in the 700 range and up.
How much do they even make? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, the redemptions are good for 10 years, I guess, at least.
Yeah, that buys us some time. Sure.
Abel in Vegas says he's listening and sorting cards to get ready for the National. I'm hearing a lot of content people talking about getting ready for the National. Of course, Fanatics Fest is going on, so I know our friend Teapot is in New York, but a lot of the hobby attention is moving to the National. And Chris, you might actually be there.
Yes, there is a tentative plan. It's penciled onto our calendar. I'm planning to be at the National Thursday and Friday with our buddy Jake, Short Print a Day. I'll be there with some of our spitballing crew as well. Filmington should be there. Teapot will be there. Scott will be. Honestly, we're just missing Jeff. We may have to, I don't know. Everyone pool some money together, get Jeff a flight so we can fly some family out here to watch his kids and he can come to the National.
Oh, I'm definitely already experiencing premature FOMO. Blabbin closing in on 4,000. Yes, thank you to all the people who've been watching our content. Chris and I have been putting out a few more videos lately, and we've been getting some subscribers from that. So thank you for liking and subscribing because it helps us reach other people.
And Ryan McDonald, congrats on your flagship Real One Schwellenbach auto. I've been looking at a couple of those on eBay. I do want to get me a Schwellenbach card, Jeff, but I haven't done it yet. I'm afraid. I'm afraid of the power that I sometimes have.
Yeah, you don't want to. I get that. I get that. Doc's card says do a live remote. Chris, maybe we could do something when you're there.
Yeah.
On site, do a live at some point.
I'm sure we could figure something out. Yeah, we definitely. Yeah, because hopefully, maybe we've done something while I'm there. Maybe there's got some interesting, hobby maneuvering to talk about.
Maybe
we'll see.
Chris and Filmington get in trouble, and I have to fly there to bail him out of jail.
That honestly is probably the single most likely outcome of the event. I would not trust Filmington and I unsupervised.
Well, I think Teapot's your supervisor, so.
Teapot strikes me as a go to bed at 9:30 kind of guy. Right. So I'm afraid, Jeff, that
which means you're going to have to as well.
Yeah. Well, anyway, yeah, Shelly, don't worry. I promise I won't. I've done enough damage to Strider. I don't.
Oh boy, MVP collector going right for the jugular on Chris.
It's fair. I mean, you're not wrong. That might be entertaining enough on its own, Jeff. We did it on IG Live for where I was at Truist like 3 or 4 years ago. And that went off with only minor hitches, in that I was a little buzzed and couldn't stop swearing. But otherwise, like, that went pretty well.
That's true. Yeah. Teapot may go to bed at 9:30, but that's when Raptor wakes up.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe you'd have that.
That would be amazing. I want to know, how many Chardonnays does it take for Raptor to come out?
How many Chardonnays? Just a couple lemon drops might do it. SFO Sox fan, thank you. Maybe someday we'll be at 40. I can't imagine there'd be that many people willing to listen to us talk about these cardboard pictures.
I believe, Jeff, that 40,000 people could hate us, but I can't imagine 40,000 people listening to us talk about baseball cards. We might have to
have unsubscribed since the beginning of Blabbin'. Real quick, before we get too far off it, Henry Rowan Gartner Cards posted this question. Did you guys get any info on the rarity of 2018 opening day SSPs? If anybody follows us on Instagram, there was an account that tagged us about a really cool Judge opening day SSP from 2018. And we asked our resident expert, Short Print Today, just how rare these were. Apparently, he said there's 30 overall subjects, 7 of which are horizontal. Print run is believed to be about 75 per. So they're pretty rare, pretty hard to find. And I think Jake either has the whole set or almost the whole set.
I believe at one point he did complete the set, but he may have sold off pieces of it to fund his next. Matt Olson, get in the corner. All right, sorry. I'm multitasking here. I think he just cleared the bases.
Yes. Great. Thick boy rolling this out. Teapot was putting down Cutwaters the other night on Spitballing.
That's fair. Yeah, he definitely was. But I would say those 2018s are rare. I don't think there's more than. I would be shocked if we ever see a PSA pop get over like 20 for any of those cards, because like we talked about on opening day, people just it was a product for kids. And those are really, really tough pulls. They don't jump out at you. So a lot of those are probably in binders or shoe boxes, and they'll never see the light of day again.
Yeah, I think the judge from that is a pop 3, PSA 10 pop 3.
Yeah. Hold on. I just wanted to say,
ever since I made that Matt Olson trade, he's been coming alive. I like it. Maybe I'm the antidote to your Matt Olson curse, Chris.
Yeah, I think, yes, I would say that. I hope so, Jeff. I did want to give M. Parsons some credit here for the Ned Flanders reference when they go to Vegas on The Simpsons, and he's like, well, I'll just have one drink. I'll have a white wine spritzer. And then it basically, they do the Hangover movie. He wakes up the next day and doesn't know where he is.
Oh, it's like an echoing spritzer I get it.
Yes, it's good. Anyway, maybe that'll be your second Simpsons episode.
All right.
But anyway, I love this card. I love this Topps Tribute thing. I hope that every year, Jeff, I think there's 10 cards in this set. I hope they never double up. Give us 10 new pairings every year. And this is incredible. There's 2 of these in the checklist.
Don't overdo it. That's exactly it. We don't need Sandy Koufax in 10 straight years.
No. There's a couple on this checklist I really want, Jeff, but I'm going to bide my time. Also, Chris, I don't have any money.
Selling some 2018 baseball wax. Well, I'm always a sucker for that. So, Chris C, hit me up and let me know what you're selling.
Yeah, it is. It's really hard to find. I don't know if to put this. It's hard to find opening day wax. Like really.
Did he mean opening day 2018?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just jumping to a Shelly the Turtle comment.
That would be
fall behind. And also Shelly, yes, M. Parsons was begging for Olsen to be included in a trade for Rafael Devers the other night, or anything about 2 weeks ago. She would have traded him for. But anyway, Chris C. Yes, I think this is absolutely going to happen. I missed his comment. Dang it, Jeff! I hit the wrong button. Where is it?
Which one?
Yes. Oh. I think, yeah, I think he'll 100% be in the game. I've been voting. I made extra MLB accounts, Jeff, or extra emails just so I can keep voting for him. The league's going to want him there. It's his home ballpark. So I think for sure he'll be there.
Yeah, I agree.
He may enter the Derby if they're looking for Derby people, because I'm sure he'd love to win that at his home park. But unlike the American League, Jeff, the National League outfield is absolutely stacked.
Yeah, I would love to see him get voted in. Like you said when we were talking the other day, the might say apathetic nature of the Braves season might lead some people not to be voting. So hopefully that's not the case. But in any case, he'll either be an injury replacement, reserve, or hopefully a starter.
Yeah, hopefully. It's just but you think about who's in the National League and who's in that outfield. It's pretty hectic out there.
I didn't realize Espo Sox fan has a whole run of opening day wax. That's awesome. I'd love to see those together. Cool. I got to go. I'll visit your IG page. I'm guessing you have a picture of those together. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, those Giants World Series celebration SSPs that are in 2013 and 15, those things are really hard to find. And when they pop up, there's like a shark level feeding frenzy, Jeff.
Yeah.
And yes, John Forrest, we have seen it. We have actually chatted about it and or blabbed about it, I should say. There have been 3 recorded sales so far. Not one of those. Let me rephrase. They've all been gone before I even saw them listed, which is really annoying. The first one went for $750. The second one went for $999. The third one sold last night for $1250. I don't like that trend, Jeff.
Doesn't seem to be a trend favoring of responsible financial decision making.
It doesn't. It concerns me. I mean, I obviously we want a copy of that card, but like how much Series 2 is getting ripped, right? Outside of the black parallels, it's kind of crappy. Let's be honest. There's a ton of street clothes SSPs in there that are really hard to look at. But for sure, that Ohtani is the best thing you can pull. Then I would say maybe the James Wood black parallel.
Yes. A lot of people talking about that National League outfield. James Wood, Andy Pajes getting a lot of mention, which he's being great.
I mean, Pete Crow Armstrong has got to be in center field, right? Yep. It has to be at this point. Yep. I mean, Corbin Carroll, Fernando Tatis Jr., Acuna, Wood. It's Soto. I mean, there's a lot of big names out there. I mean, Merrill being hurt probably keeps him out of there, but
David says, don't forget about the Series 2 Black Ohtani.
Yep. Oh, and Series 1. He'll have 2 in there in these boxes. But yeah, no one has seen the Mookie Betts Golden Mirror. Oh, no, incorrect. No one's pulled the Mookie Betts Gold Mirror, but I believe our crack SFO Sox fan tracked one down. A picture of it on Blowout.
So it exists, perhaps. Maybe it just wasn't put in the packs.
It just makes me wonder how much of this stuff people are actively ripping. Like we have seen, I think 4 James Wood black parallels have sold on eBay. And I figure at this point, we would have seen at least 10 with the amount of this stuff that usually is ripped upon release.
Right. Usually ripped right away, for sure.
Should we go into some of that now, or should we finish with the IG stuff? What do you think?
Did you want to show the Ohtani post?
Yeah.
Thinking about showing that?
Sure. All right. We'll stick with IG. We'll come back to Series 2 in a minute.
Talking about that Golden Mirror.
Oh yeah.
Ohtani. The bookends of his season.
Absolutely. Yeah. So here we go.
There it is. What a great post.
Yes. This comes from SoCal Rage Cards 2.
Which sometimes he's in here.
Incredible. Absolutely amazing. We've got like a moment from just before the season started, and then we have the moment just after the season ended.
Yeah, we've talked about that first image and how much potential there is in the picture. It's the first time we get a card of him in his Dodgers uniform, all the fanfare of him coming out for that first series in Korea, and then what the season turned into at the very end. Great post. Love these 2 cards by Topps. Kudos to them on the picks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, agreed, 7. No notes on that. And yes, as somebody mentioned, the Yoshi pounding the beer in the background is great.
That's phenomenal. How was that not airbrushed out? Did they not see it, or did they try to sneak it by? Because you rarely get booze on any of the like actual and stuff. But he is just straight up going to town on that.
No, glad you caught it for a second. Sounds like you're jumping in the car, but great post. Love to see these two together. Very cool.
Yeah, these are awesome. I am extreme. This is one of the more jealousy-inducing posts I saw in the last week or two.
Yeah, it's just fun to see card pairings, and there couldn't be a more perfect card pairing.
Good Lord. I just want to say, LJB, we'll talk about Topps Blacks. Let me finish the Instagram shout-outs. They were approximately in the $300 range. I actually grabbed one to kind of show where it ended. But yeah, give or take around $300 for the James Wood Topps Black. Too many, the S's just come and go in that, Jeff.
Too many S's.
Too many S's. By the way, did I see God is Great has 7,300 Shohei Ohtani cards? Was that a typo?
No, I believe that is correct.
That is
I had to put that up.
Yeah.
Oh, is that Sasaki in the background pounding the beer, or is that?
No, it's Yamamoto. It's definitely Yamamoto. Yeah,
I thought so. SoCal Rage. We do believe that is Yoshi.
Yeah, definitely Yoshi. Yeah, Sasaki wasn't there.
Yes, that's right. He wasn't there. He wasn't on the team. Yes. Cardboard showcase, of course. Always look forward to cardboard showcases.
Oh yeah.
This Mookie Chilson says 70 Tops has topless Nolan Ryan partying after 69 World Series. Maybe we get a topless Kershaw partying after the 2024.
Jeff, I feel like we have all been, people are clamoring for that card, right?
Yes.
I mean,
yeah, the dad bod card.
Yeah,
it's Yoshi. You're right, Chris. You're right, but they then they reprinted and tried to airbrush out the Marble in back.
Oh, for the Randy Johnson, yeah.
Yep. Will Z definitely talked about Acuna already, hoping he gets an all-star bid. Yeah, look at that.
That's a pretty funny. That's a pretty great card, Jeff. We have seen at the Burbank shows there is on Instagram there's a seller and an account, Big Mac's card box.
Yeah,
and one of his the sort of centerpieces of his collection are these vintage cards that have autos, where he's gotten all the players to sign them. He's got a couple with
auto, yeah,
with 2 players, 3 players, 4 players. This would be a fantastic card, Jeff, to have 4 autos with like a nice blue pen. That would look incredible, and they would just laugh their asses off signing this card.
Oh, if those 4 gentlemen are still with us, that would be incredible. Yeah, we should ask Big Mac's card box. He would know.
Yeah, but yeah, whoever, I forget who mentioned that card, Jeff, but thank you for pointing that out. Mookie Chilson, yeah, fantastic.
Yeah. And geez, Chris C and Docs, they keep telling me about the 2018 sealed stuff they have. You guys are making me sweat over here. Oh, Doc said that was pregame. Yeah, love it. Yeah. Anyways, guys, tell me about what sealed baseball you have. Find me on Instagram. Let me know.
Yeah, please shoot Jeff a photo. He would love to see that. Maybe a picture of you standing in front of it. He would love to see that.
Yeah,
he's a big sealed wax guy.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
very incredible. Besides, I'm just investing, Chris. I'm investing in a new CT scanner here, so I can scan all these boxes to know exactly what's in there.
I like where you're going.
Of course, it costs $200,000 for the CT scan machine. So I've got it on layaway. I should have it in about 2045.
Yep. We got to up that roll in Origins, Jeff. We got to get a bigger part and eventually a spinoff, a whole basement, like maybe just a little 4-episode arc for streaming.
Maybe I can maybe I can convince them to have his own like streaming show, like From the Basement Files. Something like that. For
sure, Dalton Basement has a weird friend who sort of hovers around the spectrum. I mean, and that could be me. I can play that, no problem. You don't have to tell me you're filming it. I'll just be there. Use whatever works.
Yeah. Maybe there's an interest in baseball cards in the early 90s.
For sure. Someone's got to talk about the 89. So for those of you guys who wonder what the hell Jeff and I are talking about, if you don't know, Jeff is he has a recurring part in NCIS Origins, which is a network TV show on CBS that takes place in the early 90s. Now, for sure, someone in your detective, in that building, in that office, has an 89 Upper Deck Ken Griffey Jr. card. Everyone did back then. They've got to have one.
Everyone did. We've got to make sure that gets on the set. There's got to be a Griffey. Yeah. I wonder how MLB licensing works with that kind of thing.
Just put it like in the background, make it real small, an Easter egg, if you will.
Yeah, an Easter egg. There was an Easter egg, Chris. I don't know if you remember in the first episode where they reveal my office, which is in fact in the basement. There was a nice red stapler there, a little nod to a favorite movie, Office Space.
Yeah, so, that was a deep Easter egg right there.
Yes, there are a few.
Okay. All right, I want to get this picture off before people start to think it's a different type of podcast.
Lose any sort of monetization we might hope for,
or gain a lot more. I don't even know. All right, the next card I want to talk about is near and dear to my heart. Before I show it, actually, I'm gonna do a little build up here because why not? So if you guys know me, you know I absolutely love Stadium Club Chrome. Jeff does too. We love 2020 Stadium Club Chrome. We recently found 2 boxes and we were really excited. One of the cards we pulled was the Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
Which I just dropped, which has this like awesome image, one of his best Phillies images, and this is the refractor.
Yeah.
So it's just a beautiful card, and we loved it. We were really excited. So our Instagram buddy, Bigger Miss 33,
but I don't know.
I don't know either. He posted this bad boy this week, which is like the best version of that card that exists,
and apparently had been sitting on a shelf. In a box.
Old. Someone in Maryland,
like at a Walmart.
Found a couple blasters of 2020 Stadium Club Chrome on like a clearance rack in their Walmart. Bottom and now. This. I mean, are you kidding me? Bought this, graded it, threw it up on eBay, and Big Hermes 33. I need to ask him what this name means so I can learn how to properly pronounce it. It's as bad as when I keep saying Jordan instead of Jordan, or Glaber instead of Gleiber. I'll get there, Jeff. But this card is stunning. Absolutely stunning.
And I believe it just popped up on eBay and he hit the bin immediately. So I didn't even see it. I didn't even see it come up.
No, never.
Great buy.
Yeah, I frequently complain about my eBay saved searches. I'm just not getting the alerts that other people seem to get. But
yeah.
Oh,
this is good. Find out who wrote on Billy Ripken's bat. Yeah.
I could see that being mentioned in an episode. That was a pretty big deal. Even non-baseball card people knew about that in the early 1990s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, I'm trying to think how they could incorporate that in. Probably some for Gibson being in Southern California, at least.
Jeff, they've got one of the best TV writing showrunners in Hollywood there. You don't have to figure out how to get it in. She does.
That's true. Yeah, I'll mention it. I'll mention it to her. All right. Somebody wanted to get our attention. Look at this. Tip of the Mitt has a few boxes of 2020 Stadium Club Chrome tucked away. A few boxes. I was sent by multiple people the new blaster that appeared on eBay at like $220, I want to say, for a blaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are becoming like gold. So congratulations, Tip of the Mitt.
That's awesome. If you did want to cash out of those, Jeff and I are here for you. We'll even open them live on the show. I think that'd be some fun content. So if you do want to sell them or trade them or anything, we're here for it. But if you want to collect them, then good for you, because I think that product is absolutely incredible. I put the trivia link in the comments. Oh,
sorry. That's
all right. I just missed it. There it is. Okay. I did make it a little bit harder today. I have to warn you. So be prepared for that. And I'm actually not sure, Jeff. What are we playing for tonight?
We're playing for a Hall of Famer Jim Rice auto. Card auto. Hall of Famer Jim Rice. And by the way, SD Pliskin, I think I saw you in here earlier. Yes, because you had this comment, which Chris probably can relate to these Elite Series guys.
Oh, yeah.
I still have your Mike Schmidt cards that you won last week. So hit us up with your address so I can send you the Mike Schmidt. But today we're playing for a Jim Rice on card auto.
Jim Rice is featured in one of our questions tonight.
Appropriately.
Just saying. I'm not saying he's the right answer. I'm just saying he's featured in the question.
Yeah.
And by the way, those elite cards are fantastic. I still remember a buddy of mine pulling the Canseco out of a box of 1991, and we didn't know what it was. We looked it up in Beckett, and Beckett had it priced at like $200, and we couldn't. I've never seen anything so outrageous in my life at the time.
Yeah. Well.
Oh my God. Someone said it perfectly, Jeff, in the comments. Someone said, "Who are these sickos that hold wax without opening it?" And I think that's a fantastic question.
I can relate to that. But Chris C, this is impressive. Owning over 800 sealed boxes, and unlike our friend Filmington, who has a ton of sealed wax, he has it for a business. So that's pretty impressive that you're able to hold on to that. Yeah,
tip of the mid. There's one they're asking really high. I think the last hobby boxes sold between 250 and 300. And I think the last blaster box we saw actually sell was like around 150.
Yeah.
But I mean, double check that. Feel free to look it up. I mean, I'm certainly not just giving you really low prices in a hope that you sell us the boxes at a discounted rate. I wouldn't do something like that.
Now that Pliskin mentions this, I think I've heard this before too, Chris.
Yeah. He wrote it on there and then just grabbed a bat.
So he
knew
which is game bats, which ones were game bats, and which ones were not.
Exactly.
Keith Hernandez wrote that on the bat from the bushes.
Hey, Chasing Majors, how's it going? What was I going to say? I don't know. Let's move on to the next
SD, send me. I've got either my email in the YouTube description of the channel description, or find either of us on Instagram, My Favorite Cardboard, or we have a Blabbin' About Slabbin' Instagram page too.
Okay. All right. The next card, Jeff, I had flagged comes from Retro Raj Collects.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think we shared some stuff from him before, but I just want to talk about these for a quick minute because the more I see these Topps flagship true photo variations, the more I really like them, Jeff.
Yeah. It's particularly with this one, you can almost not even see the tops. It just looks like a complete designless poster, which is great.
Yeah, it's such a great idea. And it's crazy that not to toot our own horn, Jeff, but that neither you nor I thought of doing this. But it's crazy it took Topps like 100 years almost to be like, hey, what if we just minimized everything instead of
take the stuff away? Yeah.
Just a perfect idea. There's been some really good Topps innovation. The last like 4 or 5 years, we give them a lot of crap for dumb stuff that they have done, but this is great.
Yeah, this has to be top of the list.
Yeah. Yeah, stocks cards, absolutely. Michael Harris, he has some really good images, and his true photo is really good. Chris C, 81 Topps football. Is that Montana, or is Montana in 80?
I think 81 is Topps.
Is it 81 Montana? I get confused with hockey.
Really valuable box. Wow.
Yeah.
MVP collector. Oh,
sorry.
Yeah. I think given the response, I think they're very pleased with themselves for coming up with this one. So I don't think we'll see it go away soon. I just want to highlight MVP Collector's a vintage guy, but even he's been buying some modern with the Rangers one. So very cool.
That's high praise. When Topps can get a whole different generation of collectors, or can kind of get new collectors, I should say.
D3C pulled one from a super box. Is the super box that thing that's at Costco? Is that a super box? What is a super box? Is it like the larger version of the mega box, a retail only product?
We're running out of adjectives, Jeff.
Yeah,
we got super, we got mega. Who knows what's coming next? Stadium Club Light. Those half boxes. Someone said JM says Jacob Wilson has an amazing, and you are absolutely right. I actually pulled up his black parallel for us to talk about in a couple of minutes. 81 is Montana. Yeah, terrible centering on those, but yeah, I'm looking forward to his SSP next year, Gregory, because he's probably not going to be on the field, but I have high hopes for him when he comes back.
Oh, super box also a Target. Yes, that sounds familiar now. Big cello covered box showing the packs splayed out mostly for kids. Okay, so maybe at the big box stores you can get it.
Now, Jeff, do you remember a few months ago we talked about friend of the show, Benor 14 Sports Cards? He collects gold refractors of Braves players, and he had purchased a Gio Urshela and we were all collectively concerned for his well-being.
Yes, I do remember that. Is he all right?
He was okay, but I'm getting concerned again. I feel like as when the Braves spiral downward, he starts to post these cards that I know are like subtle cries for help.
Oh boy, what's coming next? Maybe it's a Kellenic. Oh, all right, Brewers legend BJ Surhoff.
I don't know how he found this, but it concerns me that he might have been specifically searching for it. But
he was the only one searching for it. Well, I mean, I don't know. It's not that concerning, unless he paid an exorbitant price for it. It's a pretty cool way to distract yourself from the current Braves situation.
Yeah, drop $50 on a BJ Surhoff unnumbered gold refractor, Jeff. Doc's cards, I would say that. I mean, I don't know. Probably an automatic 10, but who knows?
Curators reminds us it was commented on by Tops. Remember that. So we're just doing it all.
Yeah, but it was weird. The Tops' comment was an 800 number for mental health assistance. So I don't know if that was like positive. Yeah, right? Even BJ Surhoff. I remember when they made this trade, and I was like, flummoxed would be the vocabulary word to use. But
hey, former number 1 overall pick, BJ Surhoff.
Yeah, and by all accounts, a great guy. He was a really good clubhouse guy. And a great baseball name.
Yes. Great name.
Oh, SFO Sox, man. Oof. He's throwing even more dirt on an already questionable purchase. But anyway.
Before I forget, Chris, I do have to give a shout out. If you can see what I'm wearing tonight. This is a Brewers number 11 home jersey. Let me see if I can turn around here. See if you can read the back.
Yeah, I see Jackson Chourio, number 11.
Yes. Huge thank you to watcher of the show, Iowa Dave Sports Cards. Went to a game in Milwaukee. He's a Cardinals fan, but he was up there to meet some friends, and it was the Chourio giveaway day. So he sent me the Chourio jersey, and not only that, but he sent me another one for my son. So thank you. Thank you, Iowa Dave. We're walking around the house wearing our new Chourio jerseys. So thank you.
Iowa Dave, that is fantastic. Cheers to you, buddy. That's an awesome gift.
Yes.
I like to see divisional rivals still being able to be friendly and nice to each other. That's always a
it's much appreciated, rather than say burning the Chourio jersey in effigy in the parking lot or something. So yes,
right. Yeah, thank you, Iowa Dave. That's awesome.
Very cool.
All right, I got a couple more cool cards to run through real quick here, Jeff.
Great.
Not that one. Here we go. Okay, other a fellow part-time blabber, short print a day. He is on a mission to collect all of the Aaron Judge red refractors. And recently he picked up this guy. Oh, whoops. There we go. Oh, no.
All right. There we go.
Okay. So this is a 2023. I'm very down on Topps Chrome in general. I just feel like the product's watered down, Jeff. We talked about there's thousands of gold refractors getting produced across all of these sets. But a true red out of the traditional Topps Chrome release is a special card.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't even know Jake was doing this. So is it all Topps Chrome reds? Is that what he's going for?
Yeah, just the regular Topps Chrome. No Sonic, no Galactic, no Logo Fractor, no Dingleberry, whatever other Topps Chrome sets they're making. He doesn't want those. Yeah, love those reds, Jason Majors. Yeah, they look. He brought this one over a couple days ago, and man, it looks so good in hand. A lot of red on them with the extra space on the bottom.
Yeah, it looks really good, and especially with that, you can't beat the pinstripes. Even as a non-Yankee fan, it's such a iconic uniform. The home uniform there, the red accent around the side, very nice design on that.
M. Parsons asks if he pulled this from one of the boxes he opened at my house. This is a great trivia question. Jake and I went to, and Jeff and I will talk about this later in our show. We did a drop-off at Burbank, a PSA drop-off. We're just going to talk about that experience, what that was like. I met Jake later, and he did one himself. And then he gets antsy at the store. You guys have seen Jake, and you can tell there's a lot of energy there. He had to buy something. So he looked for a cheap box. He bought a hobby box of 2020 Topps Chrome. So that's like the Bichette, the Jordan, Lewis Robert, that year. $125. 2 autos. Seemed like a not a crazy price, not terrible given the current state of hobby boxes, Jeff. But
Yeah.
I will show you if M. Parsons will bring out the cards that are on the coffee table. I will show you the best card that we pulled, or I'm sorry, I don't want to say we. I don't want to take any blame for this. I try to talk him out of it. The best card that he pulled from that hobby box.
All right. Well, guessing from the fact that he's no longer there, but his cards remain there on your coffee table, I'm guessing the quality of the best pull is not going to be very high.
It was a tough day for Jake. I'm going to be because I ripped it with him. We ripped that box. He came over to watch the Yankees play the Angels because we figured with Kyle Hendricks pitching, that's the day that the Yankees offensive slump was going to end. And I think Kyle Hendricks threw the best game of the last 4 years for him. I saw him strike out Aaron Judge. It didn't make any sense. Poor Jake. He was having a tough time.
Hey, yeah, I saw the meme going around on Instagram when the calendar turns June and slowly shows the Yankees logo fading into the White Sox logo.
All right, are you ready? I'll show you guys the card. This is, I shit you not,
Okay.
the best card from a 2020 Topps Chrome hobby box. Are you ready?
Yep. Okay, Posey. What?
That's a prism refractor.
Prism. All right. Well, for trivia tonight, you're playing for Buster Posey.
You know what we'll do? Well, this will be second prize. Okay, whoever comes in second tonight, we got a Buster Posey prism refractor for you
From Jake's box, from the Burbank Card Superstore. There you go.
Yeah, I'll go ahead. I'll wipe Jake's tears off of it before I send it out there. Let me put the trivia link back in there again. It was brutal. We got 2 autos. The first auto was Anthony K, and the second one I don't remember who it was.
Anthony,
but
K.
it was no one I've ever heard of. It was tough.
Yeah. Yeah. Who needs Chourio? The Brewers have a little power there in the minors, in the low minors, the high A ball. They've got some big names and working their way up. So I'm thinking maybe in about 3 years, the Brewers are going to be the most fun team to watch.
Yeah, it's exciting to watch. I was telling Jeff, it's really fun, I think, when you've got young players like that and you get excited to see how they do. All right, I got a couple more Instagram cards, Jeff. Then we can talk about Series 2 a little bit. This one comes from
Chris C doesn't have 2020 sealed. Sorry, only 2018. What a shame.
We were trying to think what's your dream pull out of 2020 Topps Chrome, and I'm not sure. I guess maybe a Jordan red,
a super of some kind. Yeah, red.
I don't know. There's some SSPs in there. There's that Lewis Roberts signing autographs. I think Mike Trout's at a press conference. But it's not. It seemed like it was going to be a great product, Jeff, with all those big rookies, and it turned out to not be so great. Okay. All right. Clean Cards 5 posted this Freddie Freeman card. And this is one of those cards, Jeff, that you should look away. He is celebrating the Division Series win in 2021. This is out of Topps Chrome Gilded, which this is the first year.
It's got to be gilded with that reptilian looking out.
And we've seen some of these cards. We've never owned any. Maybe you have, but 2022 Gilded looks fantastic. We thought when this set came out, this was going to overtake Sapphire as the new super premium Topps Chrome product, because there's some texture to it as well. The images were good. The autos are on card. It looks great. But unfortunately, by the time 2025 came or 2024 came around, I feel like they kind of cheapened out on it a little bit.
It did. Last year's product looked like a 70s hotel carpet around the outside. Very much a very cheap imitation of what this Gilded looked like it was supposed to be.
Hold on. I just want to say Doc's cards. Yes. This is a fantastic Simpsons reference. The Simpsons did a whole, it's always been Homer J. Simpson, the letter, and for decades. And they did it finally around the 16th season or something. They did an episode where he discovers what his middle name is, what the J stands for.
And it stands for J.
It stands for J. You gotta love it. Just perfect. Absolutely.
When you have a show that can go for decades and have a running joke that then they can dig into decades later, that's pretty impressive.
Ooh, Matt Olson just doubled again. Jeff, I need you to trade for more Braves players.
MVP.
Yeah.
Chasing Majors, I do not have any Chourio RPAs. I'll have to. Do you have that up on your IG? Because I'd love to see it. I do not have any of his stuff yet.
Yeah. I like this Freeman card, Jeff. It's part of the 2021 sort of postseason Braves celebration collection I'm still working on. This one it looks great. You can see those veneers are just ready to bite down, aren't they?
Oh, they are. Yes,
They're
are
ready to do some damage.
Blinding.
Yeah, Jeff, what Z-Dot is saying here is pretty much exactly true. That last release, you and I couldn't tell. We were seeing cards come up. We couldn't tell what parallel they were.
No.
And that's never a good sign.
Yeah. So there we were talking about some good ideas, and I think Gilded was a good idea. And then they also bumped up the print run too, right? I don't know.
It just stinks. Like they watered down Sapphire to the point where they needed a new premium set. It looked like this was going to be it. So maybe they can fix it for 2026. We'll see. Or 2025. Maybe they give us a better version of it this year. But this one,
I'm waiting on these dynasty cards as well. Chasing Majors talks about the definitive. Scotty, our friend from Spitball and Cards, been talking a lot about this lately, Chris, that definitive seem to be maybe catching up to dynasty in terms of the quality of their RPAs, and definitive could possibly be the RPA to get in the future. I don't know.
Because definitive, again, unfortunately, Jeff, you and I aren't the go-to RPA guys, but definitive is one of the sets that the autos are on card, and they've been doing a lot of like the holograms. So it's actually from a specific game.
Yes, from specific days you can find out. Yeah.
Oh, MT packs. That is spectacular.
I bet that looks really good.
I bet. Could you send? I would love to see a picture of it. If it's on your Instagram, please shoot me a picture of it. I'm a baseball card addict, or you can send it to Jeff, my favorite cardboard. Either one of us, we both love to see it. Sounds like an awesome card because he's got just enough red on the jersey, Jeff, that it might pop a little bit.
Pop out. You got the red in the logo down there.
Yeah.
And Chris, I think I saw you, or Chris C said he was going to send me some of his piles of wax I can check out on Instagram.
Ooh. Okay, MT packs. It's on your IG. I will. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds here.
Yeah, this will be interesting to see how this plays out. Chasing Majors, as Chris said, we're not too well versed in any of the RPA markets, but it seems like the on card, the specific game, and the game used, though, that's the trio that everybody wants. And if you have good pictures, which that's been one thing that Chris has been critical of with Dynasty in the past, the mugshot, the tendency to just throw mugshot pictures up there.
Yeah, they're boring. Like, I mean, for goodness sakes, those two Paul Skeens cards that they posted, those two 1-of-1s with the two halves of the pirate patch.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, this is card 1, my face. And then that's card 2. Like, it's absurd. I mean, they can do better than that, especially for a product that's going to cost $1,000 a box, most likely, Jeff, for one card.
Yeah, that's too much of a risk for guys like us. I love this Freeman that he's showing, that Chris is showing. It reminds me, friend of the show, GG's Cards, sent me this sweet Topps Japan Yelich, and it's kind of a similar vibe.
Hold on, we got to get a better look at that one, Jeff.
Yeah, so it's like
fans. Is that like the Japanese fans in the background?
Yes. And when I first saw it, so shout out GG's Cards for sending me these Topps Japan cards. They're awesome. First thought it was like koi, like a koi pond, and then yes, as I got closer, I realized it was fans. But it's a similar vibe to that Gilded you showed with the two-tone border.
Yeah,
very cool. Plus the 89 Topps design.
Yeah, that's very nostalgic for people of a certain age.
Yeah,
that Jeff and I might be exactly.
Yeah, certain age.
So MT Packs official. This Freeman card is awesome. Congrats on the grade too. He said he graded himself. Yeah, that's a beautiful card. So thanks for telling us.
Z-Dot's looking to unload some Craig Breslow cards. Any Giants fans interested in picking some up after that deal?
Oh boy. All
right, Jeff, maybe it's koi and fans.
Hold on.
Right. Yeah. Let me. I'll go bigger for a second. With my eyes, I can't really see. It does. Maybe it's
koi and fans.
Fans. It's like a koi fan design.
I mean, I feel like, I don't know, Jeff. Are we just like making cards of like racial stereotypes now?
Just about everything possible. So I saw those Mookie Betts umbrella cards.
That was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, what's next, Jeff? Like, are there going to be like ninja parallels in Topps Japan?
Like samurai sword parallels.
Yeah, I don't know.
It does look like candy orange slices. Yeah,
It does. It really does. But it's a very cool card. Anything with that 89 Topps design, we're on board for sure.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, let's get
Koi
this
or
back.
no koi.
I can't. All right, but yeah, that red Freeman is great. All right, I got 2 more cards, Jeff, and then I want to show some stuff from Series 2.
Okay.
If I should bring this over. All right, I'm gonna do a little build up before I share this. This is a type of card that Jeff and I generally do not like, and very rarely would we share it or pursue it. Why can't I put this on the get up there?
Oh, maybe do I have to do something?
Yeah, you might have to do it.
I'm just seeing remove.
All right, yeah. Oh, there we go. And now I add the stage.
There
All right, so this comes from AB8 Hobbies. I think I believe his name is Adam. He's in here sometimes. But this is a Jackson Chourio Topps Now card of him celebrating making the playoffs, and he couldn't drink. Is that right, Jeff?
That's correct. He was only 20 years old. So yes, I'll admit I bought a 10-pack of this card as well.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I
put a little baby stroller with some non-alcohol items in order for him to enjoy the celebration.
I think this card is amazing. I know his Series 2 Golden Mirror kind of plays off of this a little bit, but Jeff, I so wish they'd use this card as his SSP.
Absolutely, 100%. Yes.
That is fantastic.
They typically don't use the best Topps Now cards for the flagship sets, which is unfortunate. I mean, we talk a lot about how we don't like a repeated use of cards, but in the case of using it on Topps Now, I still think they can use it in a set, just like the Acuna holding the base.
Yes, I totally agree. Putting an image on Topps Now should not negate.
No, shouldn't preclude him from putting it in the set.
But yeah, Adam, thank you for sharing, for putting this card on IG. I had not seen it before. I didn't realize Jeff had a 10-pack. He's holding out on me.
Yeah, I just hoard them and look at them every night before bed.
But this is what the Chourio Golden Mirror is. So it's still during the celebration. It looks like he's taking a selfie. But I would love to see him holding up one of those non-alcoholic beverages.
Yeah, that or him with sugar, I was hoping for.
Yeah, I'd love to get a reminder of his age on those cards, because it's cool when they do stuff like this. Like if they'd done a lot of image variations in back when Josh Hamilton was playing, we could have seen some non-alcoholic beverages for him as well.
Yeah.
Or for the whole team, because I think one of their maybe the LCS win they had, they sparkling ciders or something, because they wanted to include him and obviously not trigger him as well.
Adam, yes, you can kind of see it in this photo. There's the flag of the Barrel Man, which was the original Brewers logo back in the 70s, and he is officially still their mascot, Barrel Man. Max, Topps SP person, is obsessed with iPhone selfie pics. Yes, some worse than others. Some in the locker room, not great.
Yeah, the Jason Dominguez will go down in history as one of the worst cards of all time. But this one, because it's a celebration, I think the party goggles, Jeff, it outweighed the cell phone.
Yes, agreed. Chris, who was the A's guy in the locker room? Was it Paul?
Paul Blackburn.
Paul Blackburn, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that might. See, the only reason I would say the Dominguez card is worse is because, more people up front wanted the Dominguez card. They were excited for it. Whereas the poor Paul Blackburn card, I mean, we want it just because it's so bad, but that's not a great reason to want a baseball card.
M. Parsons makes a great point here. It's a T-Rex arm, and it acts as a double T-Rex arm. It looks like he's a T-Rex holding the arm, and the arm itself, just the profile of it, looks like a T-Rex from this view. So he's a T-Rex arm squared.
Oh man. Hold on. I was just gonna say, where did it go? A Plumberman, tell this to my local my mail person. I think she would disagree. But yeah, there are way too many cell phone picks. So yeah, that is the wow. It's amazing, Jeff. The Braves get blown out at home by the Colorado Rockies in a game where their starting pitcher strikes out 15, and they look dead in the water. And they just swept the division leading Mets at home. But hey,
that's baseball.
It's baseball for you. They lined up, Schwellenbach, Sale, and Strider. And I mean, listen, if Olsen's going to actually start hitting the ball, can you make another? I need you to trade for Albies. That would be ideal. Or just pick him up because I assume he's been dropped at this point in whatever league that you're in.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd want to give up for Albies.
Okay. All right. So we're getting a couple comments on Series 2 here. So I wanted to show some stuff. So give me a second. Okay. All right. We got about 20 some odd people in trivia. Hit that link and hop in there.
Trivia. It'll be fun. You can win your Jim Rice.
Yes, there's a good assortment of questions here, including a pop culture question that I'm sure we will dive into afterwards.
Oh, all right. Nice tease.
That's how you make a pun. Jeff already has Michael Harris on a couple teams. D3C Sports.
Too many.
Yeah. So I saw someone here mention Cubs fan 4 says, have we seen the Bo Bichette Golden Mirror? We have. I will pull it up. Shoot. There we go. I have to say, Jeff, I was slightly annoyed. If you can believe, annoyed by Topps, if you can believe such a thing. This is the Bo Bichette Golden Mirror, and that is fantastic. No notes, as they say.
Yeah, however, I love how the tower goes out over the edge of the car, edge of the border. Very cool.
Yeah. Now, Jeff, what do you think I'd have to say about this card?
Well, the first problem is you don't get enough of his glutes.
Right. I mean, obviously. Yep, for sure.
I do like that that this one is vertical. Were you going to say you'd want it horizontal?
No, I just feel like
it's been used too much, perhaps.
The thing that bugged me a little bit is that Topps put this on their IG, and they're like, "This is the hardest card out of 2020."
I do remember that. Yes,
it goes so hard, and it is. It's a cool image, Jeff, but it completely ignores the fact that when Bichette was a rookie, they used, I would say, a better version of it.
Yeah.
In Stadium Club, so I get what they're doing. It's a cool image. It is. Yeah. JD cards. Yeah. I mean, it's such a great landmark. I almost feel like every single Blue Jay every year. Yeah. The card does exist. They could have cards like this. So I get concerned that Bichette's probably gone, so it won't matter. But I get concerned they're just going to keep doing it over and over and over again,
Yeah, and I get that. I do like how they went vertical with it to make it a little bit different. Mm-hmm. But yes, for them to openly boast about how great of a card it is, it's not the exact same image, but it's the gist of it.
Yeah, it's really close. And you're right about the way, if I pull this one up here, you're right about the way the tower goes outside the border. It kind of it's like that. I think it's Mark Whitten in 91 Topps. There's some really rare errors where Topps forgot to crop his arm or his hand. Whitten. I think.
Yeah.
His hand creeps into the border of the card. Probably the most expensive Mark Whitten card there is.
Mark Whitten had that huge game for the Cardinals.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 4-homer game. That's a name you did not expect to hear when you hopped onto our show tonight.
No, but Chris, let's put that into next week's trivia. See who's watching this week.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, let's definitely do that. Okay. But yeah, this is definitely one of the best images in Series 2 that we have seen.
Yeah,
they aren't selling. Yeah, that's exactly right. A Plumberman, that is exactly right. They've already sold what they have, and yeah, that bow without well, Abel in Vegas, yeah, that doesn't exist. This is his golden mirror, so it'll just
this
be
is already right.
Yeah,
never mind. So he's not going to get the true photo variation.
Yeah, his true photo will just be the base image, which I cannot unfortunately think of. Oh, Amari Smith. Hold on. Yes, this card. Hold on, let me grab it. This card is awesome. Give me a second, Jeff.
Yep. All right. While you're looking up Grant Holmes, yes, I like it for I like the idea of going into the external space, the design space. It would be cool if they just limited it to SSPs.
Yeah, there's another one. There's another player, Jeff, and I can't think of it, but he's tossing his bat after a home run, and the bat lines up vertically where the team name is.
Yeah, I can't remember that.
and they left it in the frame too, which is awesome. Yeah, this is the Grant Holmes. I feel like I don't know. Are we looking at like a L'Oreal commercial? What are we looking at here?
Yeah, or like Troy Polamalu.
Yeah, my wife has curly hair. What's the hair care product that, if you're still with us, if you're not just pounding wine and wishing for death, what is the hair care product? I think both our wives actually use the same curly hair stuff, and I can't think of what it's called.
Weedod?
Yes, that's it. This is like a Weedod ad. Another word you would not expect to hear before our show started. Yeah. Troy Polamalu-esque. Yeah, this is a pretty cool
WWE, right? He's just about to come out for his match.
Weedod. That's it. Okay.
So yeah. Also Soul Glow vibes,
right?
Any Coming to America fans?
Yeah. I mean, legitimately, Jeff, there's so much stuff. He has so much hair. Are you telling me while he's pitching, he can't just kind of rub some product out of his hair and load up the baseball?
His hair. If something just happens to be in his hair, who are we to say?
I mean, I see the umpires check his glove and check his hand every time he walks on the field. And I'm just thinking to myself, please don't check the hair.
You've got to just like run their fingers through his hair after every time he comes off the field. That'd be great.
Oh, J.E. Urseth, please. Oh, come on now. It's a nice Thursday night. The weather's good. Summer's almost here. Other baseball teams are doing well. Not mine personally, but like other baseball. Although the Braves have had a good week so far.
All right. How many people do we got in that trivia?
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Good point. Good point. We're at just about 30. So let me, M. Parsons or Shelly, if you guys could, I can share it again. Let me share it a couple more times. One of the things in Series 2 that Jeff and I were most excited about, obviously, is that the Topps Blacks are back.
Mm-hmm.
Let me put this up here. So I just want to show a couple of those real quick before we get to trivia. I had actually talked about, do you remember when we first saw the design? I don't know if it was blabbing or spitballing, but I was saying how the black borders are going to make the team names really pop, and like the way Future Stars is into the border, like the black colors should make these cards look amazing. And we didn't get them.
Yes.
It was pretty funny. So this is Nolan Shanuel. I want to show a player
that looks great.
Look at the colors. Look at the way that Future Stars this is such a badass card. Like, these look fantastic. I was very excited when the Topps Black started to hit eBay, Jeff.
Oh man, you can just see those are going to be tough grades for people that want to grade PSA. Those look awesome though.
Yeah.
I think a lot of those will be destined for one touches.
Absolutely. Or just, whatever. PSA 6s. Here is
that's true.
Look at Ellie De La Cruz. Look at the Future Star, the color on the Future Stars. He's got he's got black on both his arms and black in his back pocket, and of course his hair, his eye black,
and the helmet popping off through the border.
That's an incredible card.
Yeah.
Gets me excited. This is the James Wood. It's a weird image. He looks almost confused. Maybe he's trying to pick up the third base coach, like his eyes, I can't really tell what he's looking at.
Yeah, I was interested in that photo choice. A guy who's known for his big bat. I mean, right? I guess he's decent on the bases too.
Well, you can see how the team name, the way it kind of pops out with the black background there. And someone was asking about the prices of this, so I pulled this up. This is one that sold. The most recent sale, June 18th, was $315 for a James Wood. For arguably, Jeff, what could end up being his best parallel.
His best card, yeah.
His best non-auto. And kudos to the seller of this card, whose name is Yahtzee. I'm not going to lie. I enjoy a good game of Yahtzee periodically. Yeah. I just want to throw, a couple more Topps Blacks. Look at this Aaron Judge card. The borders, the way the border looks with the team name.
All the black and white there. All the black and white.
Yeah, so Topps did a great job with these. I did just want to give them kudos because I think these cards came out really well. I believe Short Print a Day is already grabbing every Yankee Topps Black he can get his hands on just because he likes how these look.
Yeah, and Ryman says he pulled the Ellie in his jumbo. Awesome.
Woo, nice. So that's the Schwellenbach rookie.
Oh, that's cool.
But I think one of the best. Oh, sorry, Jeff. One of the best base images belongs to AL Rookie of the Year frontrunner for right now, Jacob Wilson.
Yeah.
That card just looks great. The yellow and the black.
And the A's, just whenever you get a field design card, you get this kind of color match with the grass, the wall, typically the grass, the wall in their uniforms. And of course you've got the border as well. So that looks great.
It's funny. I like to see these comments. Plumberman says he got a Ben Rice black, and 2 comments later, Max Nelson's like, man, I really need a Ben Rice black.
There you go. A match made in heaven. Leprechaun hop, PSA calls this.
But what Z-Dot here said, I think, is what you had up there a second ago. Yeah, I totally agree. I think the first base cards come out, everyone just shits on the design every single year. They hate it. This is the worst top set ever. I'm not buying any of this. And then we get to like June and some parallels come out and people are like, you know what? This looks better than I thought. And here we are again. But yeah, everything looks better with the black border, Jeff.
Yeah, and as somebody said, I'm not sure if it was Chris C, but they should have never taken him out. But thanks in part to a lot of blabbing viewership and people giving feedback on IG, 2 tops. Kudos to them for bringing it back. So we don't have a season missing. They're not in Series 1, but all the Series 1 players are in Series 2 packs. So
yes. Yeah, which means you have double the chances.
Yeah.
To get a Topps black. So instead of like I did the odds before, but instead of like 1 in 98 jumbos is 1 in 49 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a comment in there, Jeff, from I think it's LJB, asking about our rankings of some James Wood cards. Did I see that right?
Yeah, the true photo variation.
Okay.
The black parallel and the golden mirror.
I was looking at one of these. I was looking at one of these as well. Yeah. So this is James Wood's golden mirror. I like a good horizontal SSP, Jeff, and I love the fact that they're wearing the City Connects. This almost has like a heritage throwback kind of feel to it, right?
Definitely. That's what I was thinking when I saw it too. You get a picture of him swinging. It's the follow through. You still get a little bit of the bat on the card. You get the crowd in the back. I really like this card. Yeah.
Very, very. I like this card a lot. Hold on. M. Newbert, I've seen some people. Flagship Black Friday. That hashtag, I think it worked. It got more attention than we even expected it to, and certainly more attention than some of our detractors on Blowout expected, Jeff.
They were very skeptical that it would have any impact at all. Mookie's thinking of another hashtag we should have went with, the Blabbin' Blacks. I'm not sure if that would have gotten the same sort of wide recognition. But again, I appreciate Mike Mahan coming on and telling us that they were coming back based upon the feedback. So that was great. Yeah, that was awesome. All right, I threw the link in there one more time. Let's give it a couple more minutes. We're at like 40 and change. We can get to 50 people in trivia, Jeff. If only so we can talk about the last question for a while. Right. Cat Dad. Oops, sorry, Jeff. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. I was going to say, Cat Dad mentions. I think we showed this a couple weeks ago, but I'll show it again because it's great. It's no polar bear, but it's pretty great. Yeah. Oh, damn it. Do they have one framed right? Yes. There we go. Yeah. I mean, if you're a Pete Alonso collector, you need this card. They did that. A lot of stadiums, Jeff, now are doing that blackout when they take a pitcher out mid-inning. Yeah. That's fantastic. Don't use the flash. Keep it dark. It looks awesome. Yes, it's hard to get a good picture, but I think they did. And it's hard to get a good picture of that picture. But if you see this in hand, I'd imagine you'd probably be blown away. And Doc's cards, I'm right there with you. When they said they were going to meld the two products, I got a little bit excited. I'm like, okay. Yeah. And then they get the cards. Yeah. Then every card was going to get a chrome. I was like, okay. But still, the chrome autos are stickers, and that just... Like that really ruins it. Yeah. Chris, I wanted to ask this question because Bazooka Tom has a good question. We've talked about this. We talked a little bit about on Spitball, and what the Nationals are doing. They really did the most you could possibly do with trading a superstar. When Juan Soto wasn't going to sign, they made that trade, and they've gotten at least 4 players who've been in the majors from that trade that weren't in the majors prior. And including James Wood. I think what's going to be needed to get some traction is some team success. And they're still really young, but they're on their way. I mean, Wood, he's 22. as we talked about recently too. He's young. CJ Abrams is still young. They're building a really nice core there. Maybe what they can do through free agency is supplement that with some veteran presence and start to make some noise. It's just that division is so tough, and people are spending a lot of money in that division. But I think that's what's going to be needed for the Nationals players to get any sort of hobby love.
I also think, Jeff, that if James Woods, when people see him in the All-Star game, if he gets in the Derby, I know it doesn't matter for anything, but that might be.
It does, sure.
Yeah.
National recognition. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point.
Yeah, if he gets in the Derby or when he gets in the All-Star game, that will be legitimately the first time a lot of baseball fans have seen him.
Yeah.
And right now we're looking at a guy who's on pace for like a 6+ WAR season. He's got 18 homers, 52 RBIs, and a 161 OPS plus.
Yeah.
9 steals.
Yeah. Yeah. We did a deep dive into James Wood on Spitball and on our Patreon. If anybody likes little deeper dives into specific players, please check that out. And we talked about how significant his walk rate is. He's a power hitter, and most 22-year-old power hitters are going to come with a ton of strikeouts. And he comes with his strikeouts, but he's also coming with a really good batting eye. And that seems to only improve as he gets older. So as he reaches his hitting peak in 3, 4, 5 years, if that eye continues to develop, he's a legitimate like 40+ home run, 400 on base percentage type guy.
I'm going to go further. I think Jeff is being a little too conservative. I think he already is that guy. Like he's on pace for right now. If we're not at the halfway point, he's got 18 home runs. Someone said down here in the comments, D3C, I cannot say that, Jeff. D3C Sports said he will be a stud. This guy is a stud now. I think Soto came up 2 years earlier, but I think the Padres are really already looking at that trade and wishing they hadn't done it. Yeah, I think Wood's already there. He's an absolute beast, and I'm excited to see the response to him in the All-Star game. Should be really good. A lot of those older players, I think, he's gonna want to see them or talk to them, and it'll be fun to see.
Yeah, he's good. And somebody mentioned Mackenzie Gore, who's among league leaders in strikeouts. Yeah. A really exciting team. I'm probably underselling Wood a little bit. I'm just saying that what we're seeing now could pale in comparison to what his peak could be. So, yeah.
No, and you generally are a bit more conservative. I tend to get overexcited very quickly, and you're usually there to rein me in and sort of make sure I don't go completely off the deep end. I get excited about this guy. I like this guy a lot. Abrams, I think the Abrams situation that happened at the end of last year, I think he just if I remember correctly, Jeff, he's the Nationals young guy that just went to a casino the night before a game and then showed up really late to the ballpark. I think that was sometimes a mistake like that happens one time and the organization, the manager can get to, and he's a hell of a lot better this year than he was last year.
Yeah, and I think that one final comment about the Padres trade, they're probably regretting it. The way they had that team set up, though, it was smart. I mean, they had a really legitimate title contender when they got Soto. So I don't blame them for going all in at the time. You never know how these prospects are going to work out. So I still see the trade from both sides. It's just, it makes me appreciate when a team like the Nationals, who knows they're going to lose a big player, goes out and gets these guys, and then it works out.
That's the first time I've heard the phrase booger sugar here on Blabbin' About Slabbin'. So Amari Smith, thank you for introducing our viewers to such a term. There are no clocks in a casino. That's a good point.
There's a little bit of strawberry in them, isn't there? And somebody else had mentioned Judge, and Judge was still 2+ years away from the major leagues when he was Wood's age. So head start is right.
Okay. All right, we got 50 people in here, Jeff. I think we're right about there. God, I have so many tabs open. I'm trying to keep track of everything.
Let's roll. Yes, Chris C, they definitely are. It's just they've had their couple chances last year, and then the Soto year as well.
Last year they were the better team last year, but the Dodgers just gritted it out and beat them. The Padres and their fans, and Machado has got to lay in bed at night and remember that they were up 2-1 at home.
With a bullpen game.
Yes, and the Dodgers throwing a bullpen game at them, and they got shut out. And they got shut out again in Game 5. And that's just brutal. As a Braves fan, I remember some of our awful postseason losses. And
as a Brewer fan, I remember that too. Oh,
yeah.
It's tough. It's tough.
All right. Get into trivia. That was your last chance. I'm going to start the countdown. Oh, yeah. We got almost 60 people, Jeff. We're ready to go. How's the voice feeling?
Feeling good. They want a little bit of this guy. All right.
Hall of Fame autos don't grow on trees. Here we go. Playback is beginning. Hold on. Give me a quick. Let me make sure I didn't screw up anything here.
Everybody remember, the quicker you answer, the more points you get.
Yep.
A lot of people who are quick on the draw.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Well, there's jokes in there, but I'm gonna be mature. Here we go.
Yeah, that's a first.
Mm-hmm.
All right. 10 seconds, everybody.
All right. We guys doing that? I'm going to re-cocktail.
Which Cardinal star has won an MVP award? Is it A, Paul Goldschmidt, B, Nolan Arenado, C, Mark McGwire, or D, Jim Edmonds? Question was Gold Gloves. There'd be some nice ones listed up there, but the question is for an MVP award. 65% of the people went with Paul Goldschmidt. Who did?
He did indeed.
Correct. Congrats to 36 of you. Santo, the 85, which is a really high score right out of the gate. LJB and JT Collect. Who is the only second baseman to win back-to-back MVP awards? Ryan Sandberg, Joe Morgan, Jeff Kent, Rogers Hornsby. I feel like this is a guy that comes up frequently on our show.
Both in good ways and bad, Jeff.
True. Some parts of his career he was more well-liked than others. All right, 59% of the people said Big Red Machine stalwart Joe Morgan, and you guys are correct.
Yeah. Well done.
Los Bravos, 156. Ooh. Michigan Cards and Graphs, another shot at the leaderboard with 153. What jersey is Mark McGwire wearing on his first Topps card? Is it his USC jersey, Team USA, Oakland Athletics, or St. Louis Cardinals? First Topps card, if anybody remembers from 1985 Topps. 86%, a whopping 49% of you said Team USA, and you guys are correct. Nobody went with the St. Louis Cardinals. You're right. He didn't go there too much later. Los Bravos, Michigan Cards, 235, tied for the top with Cav in third. Who's the other guy on Eric Plunk's 1986 Fleer rookie card? Look at that, Eric Plunk. Terry Steinbach, Mark McGwire, Jose Canseco, or Dave Stewart. The very photogenic Eric Plunk.
There was a lot of this guy I had to cover up. It was a very, very wide, large person.
Space. The first 40-40 club member, Jose Canseco, 37% of you got it right. Congratulations. Los Bravos, it's still tied. Exact same score after the last question, 319 apiece. Kev, who's the third Dodgers rookie on this 1981 Topps card? Is it Oral Hershiser, Kirk Gibson, Fernando Valenzuela, or Tommy Lasorda? Future star Tommy Lasorda. Mike Scioscia looks young there.
What year would Tommy Lasorda's future star card be? Like 1909?
12, yeah. 41% of you said Fernando Valenzuela, the late, great Fernando Valenzuela, who passed away last year. The Dodgers are wearing his patch on the sleeve. Los Bravos is in first all alone. What young Cubs ace struck out 20 Astros on May 6, 1998? Was it Mark Pryor, Kerry Wood, Carlos Zambrano, or Rich Harden? I remember watching this game in my apartment in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on WGN.
It's like watching a wiffle ball game, Jeff.
It was unreal. 52 people got Kerry Wood correct. Very good. That was one of the best games I've ever seen pitched and one of the best games ever pitched, frankly. Los Bravos, 476. How many players on this 1973 Topps triple rookie went on to win a World Series MVP? 0, 1, 2, or 3. Some recognizable names on that.
Oh, yeah.
Card. Is that Paris Hilton's dad?
I doubt it.
The correct answer is 2. 24% of you got it right.
Yep. Mike Schmidt in 1980, and Ron Say was one of 3 Dodgers they gave it to in 1981. It was like him, Guerrero, and I think Yeager. Sorry.
Which Hall of Famer is on this quad rookie card from 1975? Is that George Brett, Jim Rice, Gary Carter, or Robin Yount? Now, don't be swayed necessarily by the prize. We just thought his name might come up. Who was on there? Oh, maybe people might have been swayed by that. It was actually Gary Carter from the Montreal Expos. Los Bravos opening up a wide lead over Michigan Cards and Graphs with Card Dad right behind it.
Ooh.
This Luis Robert first Bowman Chrome PSA 10 recently sold for $5. What is the highest recorded sale for the card? Did it go for $57, $167, $327, or $977? Any of those are incredible and crazy. Wow, a lot of people went with the insanity. I guessed wrong as well. I went with the 167. Chris got me on that one, but Los Bravos 678. Good work.
I wouldn't have been shocked at 900. Here we go.
In the opening credits of Who's the Boss, is Tony Maselli safe or out on his aggressive slide dive flying into home plate? Was he safe or was he out?
We might have to go to New York for a video replay on this one, Jeff. I don't know.
Not pictured here. The umpire, Mona. Wow, pretty even split. The correct answer is out. The ball beat him by a good 2 steps. Or I guess flying and two flights. Mookie Chilson, I'm guessing 577. Congrats. That's a great score. Catcher was blocking the plate. Michigan Cards and Drafts, another great performance at 657. And I'm guessing that means Los Bravos 755. An incredible score on this particular set of questions. Congrats, Los Bravos.
Yeah, that's a good showing right there.
There's an Instagram channel that does a thing called 60-second classics, where it breaks down classic movies, a lot of 80s movies and TV shows. They break down this Tony Maselli slide, and I'll post it on our Instagram story. It's really incredible. It's the full breakdown of the slide, coming around third base, the third base coach waving him in, him flying like Superman, getting up and arguing with Mona, who rips off the mask. It's great. So
this is good stuff.
So check out our Instagram. We'll put it up after the show or tomorrow.
Yeah, I want to be clear. I asked Jeff. I was like, Jeff, I want to use this as a question because it's incredible, and we've laughed about the Instagram reel many times. And Jeff was like, "Oh, well, can you see Mona in the opening credits? Because doesn't she call him out?" Like, I mean, right away. Like Jeff knew that moment. Like he knows his kids' names. Like it was really funny.
Oh man, yes. Some things you watch when you're like 10 years old really stick with you. And
oh yeah, I was trying to find a GIF of it, Jeff, that I could just kind of show over and over again, but without getting into too much trouble. If you don't know what we're talking about, I'm just going to give me a second.
Sure.
No. Boy.
Chris sees appealing for an Alyssa Milano question. Maybe in a future trivia, Chris can handle that.
Maybe. All right. Can we see this?
Yes.
All right. This is the play at the plate.
There's the tag.
Oh, we get the full. Oh yeah. Here we go.
Him running through the. Look at that guy.
It's just waving him in. Yeah.
This looks like our game last night, Chris.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, the catcher wearing all this gear is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't know about Peg Bundy's hair being naturally tall. I think that had a lot of Aquanet help in it.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, like Jeff said, we'll share a reel to our IG.
JD Cards has an interesting comment here, which relates to another pop culture question that may or may not soon appear on the channel on trivia. My favorite Tony Danza's sports moment is the subtle anti-smoking campaign in Angels in the Outfield when Christopher Lloyd implies Danza is going to die soon because he's smoking.
Yeah. I mean, Tony Danza, he did not have great mechanics. I think we've talked about that before from Angels in the Outfield. He did not have good throwing mechanics. It's hard to watch.
No. His professional experience was in boxing and not in baseball. Oh, Peg had a wig. Good point. She did have a wig, Chris. You're right.
So there's some good comments here. I mean, he did not. That's right. He did not. Oops, sorry, Jeff. We make that. Yeah, he didn't really cut that base very well. That's a tough angle. David O blaming the third base coach. It's an aggressive send, but that looked like kind of a rec league game. I mean, sometimes you got to make the catcher. You got to make the other team make a play, Jeff.
Yeah. You got to go for it. I don't blame the coach. We've had much worse third base coaches at our softball game.
Oh, for sure.
Mookie, we've talked about Mr. Belvedere's foray into softball, especially when Bob Uecker passed away. I had a friend out here, a friend who's in my fantasy baseball league, who was an executive producer on that show. And right when Euchre passed away, he sent a picture of himself in the softball jersey between Hank Aaron, Reggie Jackson, Mickey Mantle. It was just an incredible. I can't imagine being on set that day, getting to shoot. That's really cool.
Right. Thick boy with a great point here. The third base coach was definitely out of the box right there. That's just.
It's funny that you mentioned that, Chris, because we're in the middle of All-Star tournament season for our kids, the 8-year-old, and some of the umpires take it very seriously at those games. In fact, I got warned last week when I was coaching the bases, and I got warned for not getting too close to the player, because obviously you can't touch a player or help a player if he falls or have him stop. But I'd be like there cheering him on or telling him to go. And he said, well, sometimes I can't tell from where I am if you're touching him or not. So you got to be careful. I'm like, all right. So it's a very serious thing. I mean, if Tony Danza made contact with that third base coach, could have called him out right there.
Yeah, I got to say, Jeff and I have played a lot of softball out here in Southern California, and the worst call I've ever been around, it was like a championship game of a team I was on. We were a co-ed team playing in a men's league, and that's a separate part of the story. But anyway, we scored a run, and the umpire stopped the game and negated the run and called the runner out because he said the third base coach touched the runner. We didn't have a third base coach. No one was coaching third at the time. He hated us, and that run put us up by like 6, and he just didn't want it to happen. Like, it was just out of the blue. He was like, no, there was contact over there. Like, without looking. And then we were like, bro, there was no one there. He's like, I saw it. What can you do?
Right. You can't do anything. Yeah. That's the trouble with these. You can't do anything. Me getting thrown out of a little league. I'll tell you, I was the calmest last week when our game ended on a player of ours getting called out, stealing second. And his leg was like all the way past the bag. And the other coaches were very irate. Angels in the outfield goal. Yeah. Angel Hernandez would have called him safe for sure.
We had a call last night in our softball game where the umpire at the game, who Jeff and I have known for like 10 years.
A good friend. Yeah. And
he has played 1,000 softball games. He didn't know that on a sac fly, you can tag up on first touch. So like we had a fielder bobble a ball and fall down and on his
wasn't
chest.
That deep.
Like, yeah. I got it. But our guy tagged up when he started falling. And he was like, no, he didn't have control of the ball, so you can't tag up. And we're like, absolutely not.
Luckily, I had a ball in my hand. So at that very moment, I walked out there showing Ernie. I'm like, otherwise, major leaguers would just juggle the ball all the way in and nobody would ever tag up.
There'd never be a sac fly again. But he refused to believe it till like our pitcher, who is a lunatic, found the rule in the rule book, like posted on the website on his phone. And it took like 7 minutes. And then they made the other team come back on the field.
And the other team knew the rule, too. So it's just a waste of time.
Oh, John, that's oh boy, that sounds like a painful collision that the speedy guy did not win.
Yeah, and I'm definitely not a speedy guy, but I ran into a giant at catcher, and I still have the scars on my knees to prove it. So it's bad.
This was really interesting, actually.
I didn't see that.
So we missed the first. My wife and I missed the first inning last night, and when we put it on, they were talking about a catcher's balk.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, I was so excited. I'm like, I can't picture that. What
did
what
he
happened?
pick up? Did he touch the ball with his equipment?
Yes, there was a wild pitch that bounced off him and rolled away. And he was watching the runner, and he just leaned out with his mask and kind of brought the ball back. And you could see him realize, and he like tossed the mask and went to pick up the ball. But the home plate umpire was all over it.
Yes, that a video of that from the 80s has been going around recently. I'm trying to remember it. I think it happened with the Pirates and maybe the Dodgers and the Lasorda or whoever came out and called him on it because the guy just casually picked up the ball with his helmet after it dropped. This is great, Curator. We had an umpire make a bad foul call and use the fact that the chalk was crooked, so he subjectively called it. Named our team Crooked Chalk the following season. I hope you had the same umpire.
Yeah, I mean, some weird stuff. Tim Kirkchin always likes to say, it was either Tim Kirkchin actually or why can't I think of Buck Showalter said every baseball game you watch, you'll see one thing that you never saw before. And that was the first time I actually saw a catcher do that. Yeah. Bobble the ball into the infield. Yeah. Like, oh.
Yeah. Just juggle it. Yeah.
Speaking of things I'd never seen before, before we talk about our PSA sub, watching the Braves game yesterday, Ozzie Albies struck out swinging. Everyone,
What?
yeah, I know. Hold on to your hats. But I didn't even notice how aggressive the umpire was in making this call. But he struck out swing on a pitch that hit him in the knee and like knocked him to the ground. And there was concern that he might have like broken his kneecap. But I just want to show this this little clip from an Instagram account called Pitching Ninja. Which you guys, if you're on IG, I highly recommend following this. They show some incredible overlays of like pitchers tunneling and balls moving and stuff. But this is just this makes me laugh.
Showed the Chris Sale Juan Soto, didn't they? Wasn't that Pitching Ninja?
Absolutely. But this is watch the umpire here aggressively call Ozzie Albies out as he lay on the ground dying.
Oh no. He hits the double point. The double point.
Pointing at his corpse and like steps over him.
Not just 1 point. No, you.
That is
you.
It's so
double
aggressive.
Point.
It's so aggressive.
Just walks away. He just walks past them. Steps over the body.
He's in the fetal position on the ground. Like, why did he have to point a second time?
Oh boy.
Did he shoot him? It's really funny. That's what it looked like. Oh my god. I've watched this like 20. It just makes me laugh every time. He kind of steps over
Albies. Oh man.
Oh, goodness. Anyway, I'm sorry. I thought you guys.
Oh yeah, Evan talks about this. I think Pitching Ninja did that too. The batter striking out a pitch that got him in the junk. Yeah.
Not a great look. Not a great. Yeah, I saw some Enrico Palazzo comments. Yeah, Chris C. He did not moonwalk past him. That would have been the ideal naked gun umpire maneuver.
Yeah.
Please stop. He's already dead. Oh, that's like our third great Simpsons reference of the show.
It was savage. Emophobic is saying he checked it. He didn't even ask for the appeal. He just made that call himself.
Yeah, I mean, he went
point.
Yeah, he went pretty far around on that. But he's just laying there. It's so fun. I can laugh even though it's like my team's player. I still think it's pretty funny.
So is he okay? Did he break his knee?
He did not. He was all right. He actually stayed in the game. But I always get word with Albies because last year he was breaking bones like left and right.
Yeah.
But anyway, hold on. What was I going to do? Yeah. So you want to talk about Jeff and I dropped off a sub at Burbank? Do you want to?
Yeah. So one thing that we've talked about, and you guys will remember, is how excited we were when PSA announced that they were going to have their first retail location inside the Burbank shop, which Chris and I it's kind of our local card store. And now that they've moved to their new location, it's even closer to us actually. So one of the big draws of that was that we would be able to drop off and avoid the mail. It's not so much the cost of the mailing, which can be annoying, but it's just the fact that it's in the mail and you don't know what's going to happen to it. We've heard all these horror stories about people losing cards, people getting cards stolen. So we thought, man, if we can avoid that, and then it gives us an excuse to go to the store, to drop it off. You go back whenever you get the email that your cards are done. You pick up the cards, you buy more stuff. It's a win-win, as Chris talked about, for the store and for PSA. It gets people in there, gets traffic moving.
And for us.
Yeah. So we went. All right. Sorry to interrupt, but Mookie, this is right. Albies needs to dust himself off like Tony and drive that dirty van home. That's right.
That's right.
So here are the cards. Chris, you want to walk us through those cards?
Yeah, I think these are all pretty recognizable based on stuff Jeff and I talk about. So we'll go around counter or clockwise here. We got Freddie Freeman's 2009 first Bowman Chrome Auto. That's the refractor, numbered to 500. That one came up on eBay. It was just perfectly centered. So much so it caught our eye. And the seller told me he pulled it in 2009. It's been in a penny sleeve since then. Surface was perfect. So I got it in the mail, and the surface was not perfect. But Jeff was able to work his magic as he does. So I'm hoping that thing will 9. In certain lights, in certain lights, it's an automatic 10. But then when you angle it slightly differently, you're like, oh. So we'll see.
Yeah, there's still a couple little print lines and a couple imperfections, but for the most part, those cards, what we usually see the problem is off center or something really bad or right around the auto box.
Oh yeah, and dimples all over the place as well.
Yeah,
but yeah, then we got a 2014 Ortiz. Topps Chrome SSP. He's holding his 3 World Series rings and his World Series MVP. Now, full disclosure, that was a BGS 9.5.
It was.
It was
cracking.
Yeah, a 10 on centering, a 10 on edges, a 9.5 on surface, and a 9 on corners.
9 on corners, and we looked at it closely under the lights. We looked at it. Jake took a look at it as well. We couldn't see any issues with the corners that would have gotten it the 9. It just, so we thought, well, let's crack it out. How many are there at PSA, Chris?
0.
There you go. So we thought, well, we'll get 1 at PSA. It'll go in well with our collection.
There's 4 at BGS, now 3 at BGS.
Yeah.
And there's 1 raw one that we're aware of. The only issue we saw with this card was like what I would describe as a half dimple on the bottom in the silver. Otherwise, it looks absolutely perfect.
Yeah,
so we'll see.
Tiniest surface blemish. That's probably what got it the 9.5, but it's really nice. I mean, I'd say it's 50-50 that it could gem.
Exactly. In a PSA slab, you never see it. Next to that, we have the 2012 Albert Pujols Topps Chrome SSP, which is not the most interesting image, unfortunately. His base card, he's just facing the other way.
Which leads you to believe that a lot of these probably just got lost in commons boxes over the years.
Yeah. I mean, especially the lesser players, the images aren't notable at all. You would think people would pull out the Pujols, Jeff, but right now there are 5 total at PSA. And I don't think any at BGS. So that's a pretty tough card. No gems yet. 4 9s and an 8. I would say this thing's got a real good chance to gem. So our fingers are crossed.
It does.
Yeah, Christian, it is saucy. It's pretty good. His head is gigantic, by the way.
It's like late stage Barry Bonds, gigantic, and then some maybe.
Absolutely, just a massive head. If you've ever seen So I Married an Axe Murderer, when we were looking at this card, all I could hear is the Scottish accent.
Heed.
Yeah. It's a massive head. And then, of course, on the bottom, we have our favorite Juan Soto card, 2020 Stadium Club Chrome, of course. That's one of his autos of the shuffle. And it actually looks like he took the J and shoved it right up his own rear end. So God bless him for that. Makes us like the card a little bit more.
He does that one great. You love his auto. It's nice and bold.
Yeah. And like an orange on a toothpick. And that card looked absolutely perfect. Like the surface on it was almost like off-puttingly clean.
Really clean.
We were like, what's going on?
Yeah, Brewers legend Kevin Mensch, ginormous.
Anyway, right, so continue, Jeff.
There's our 4 cards. Somebody's asking about pricing. I'm not sure Value Plus was at 40. I think there were no specials. There's no specials going on, really. They're just there, and there haven't been for a little while because I think the backup is just so great. So we thought, all right, we'll bring these in. It is great handwriting. Yeah. We brought them in. There was, in fact, I have to say, we went on a Tuesday afternoon, and at the new Burbank, unlike the old Burbank, they have parking. They have 70 parking spots. It's an old CVS, so they have a huge parking lot next to the building and then in front of the building. Total of 70-ish spots, as Rob has said. And it was jammed full. It was completely full. Cars were waiting to get in. I couldn't imagine what was going on inside. So finally, I just dropped Chris off and said, well, why don't you get in the PSA line? I'll go find a spot on the street. And I did. And by the time I parked the car on the street a couple blocks away and started walking over, I got a text from Chris that said he was done already. So they didn't take very long. How many people were in line there, Chris?
There was one guy just finishing ahead of me as I got there. That sounds bad, but let's keep it clean. So yeah, I could just walk right in that line. And one thing, listen, just a very general thing. We've all been to parking lots, Jeff, where it's very crowded. Yes. People that get into their car in a parking lot like that and then don't leave. I hate those people, Jeff.
I hate that too. That is a big pet peeve. You see, there's a ton of cars waiting. They just sit in the car.
Yeah. Have your conversation outside the car. Don't get in the car. We sat there waiting with our blinker on for like 2 minutes. Then we left. We circled around. Someone else had come in with their blinker on. And we're like, yeah, but you're not getting that spot. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah. I mean, get in the car and go. Totally agree. Maybe they're doing car rips, Ryan. But the thing is, at this place, they've got so many seats inside. You could rip right in there in the comfortable air conditioning of the shop. So yes, I get that point of doing car rips, but man, they've got a lot of space in there. They could just do it.
They literally have designated like tables set for people to rip boxes because that's what they want. They want you to buy boxes there, get a good card, and take it right to PSA while you're there. And yes, M. Parsons, we have talked about this a lot. Usually she's swearing a lot more when she talks about this because we'll wait at the gym and you can see, you almost make eye contact with people. They get in their car and then they're just like, nah.
Yeah. Well, I didn't need the study to tell you that people are a-holes.
Yeah. So Ju Kim is asking about the form. So Jeff, as you were.
Yeah. So we filled it out online. Chris came over. We filled it out online. They're very easy to do on PSA. You start searching the card. They even had you start searching the card and then it'll come up in their database. They even had the big poppy in their database, even though there's no cards of that there, which is kind of unusual. We've had some cards before that are a pop zero that we've had to input or make notes about at the bottom, but this was really easy because it went right in.
Yep. Yeah. But yeah, they did. Now I should say I did see they have a scanner, computer, printer set up. So I believe if you just go there with nothing, they can help you, that you can fill out your forms there.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people who are first timers there, so they definitely help them.
They were doing I believe they had a discount going. A young guy next to me asked me about, he had a stack of cards, like, what should I grade? He said they're doing $25 off for anyone's like first ever sub, so that you can create an account and sub with them, and they were giving you a discount, which is cool.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. That's the way to get new people in. Serial killer vibes. Yeah, there's things that make you feel like that, Chris, for sure.
Oh, 100%.
Steve, I think this is a different kind of car rip. It'd be nice if they had service. Okay, so let's get back to the story. So Chris had them all checked in, and I get in there, and Chris didn't look extremely happy. I thought, well, this is easy. This is going to be great. All right, well, we just come back and get them when they come in. But Chris had some disappointing news to tell me.
Yeah, the one thing that we were hoping they would do, but they are not doing. We thought you could drop off at PSA or drop off at Burbank and pick up at Burbank, but PSA is not allowing that. So you can drop off at Burbank, but they are only shipping the cards back to you. You have to get them shipped back.
I love Burbank, but that's a huge disappointment because from the beginning, when Rob had talked about it being there, that seemed to be the biggest selling point, that you could go in and pick up your cards. You don't have to worry about the mail at all, or even that extra expense of getting insured mail back. So I talked to the representative there, and he said, yes, that's what they originally tried or had hoped for. But now apparently the powers that be say that's not feasible, that there's too much liability, and there's meetings going on about it, but he's much less optimistic than he was. So that was a huge disappointment for me, because that makes this no different than a show drop off for Chris and I. So yes, it's a little more convenient, but realistically, we drop off at the Burbank Card Show, we get it mailed back to us. So yeah, so I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't think we get any. Burbank doesn't want the liability, and it sounds like PSA doesn't want the liability of cards getting damaged in transit from PSA.
Yeah, let me throw this out real quick. I actually understand it. Jeff and I talked this out in the car, and I talked about it with some other collectors that go to the store. And there is a level of that makes a lot of sense from PSA's point of view. Like, it's already dangerous, really, for them, like, to walk out of Burbank. Like, there is now an armed guard at Burbank, which I assume they're splitting, maybe, I don't know. But I assume that guard is there to protect the PSA guy as he takes whatever he's got out. Then that stuff goes to PSA. PSA grades it. Now it's like in slabs. The value on some of this stuff, Jeff, is going to be astronomical. I'm sure people are going to drop off stuff that's extremely high value. I totally understand PSA not wanting those cards in a van or in a car just driving from Santa Ana to Burbank. For them, it makes a lot more sense to put that liability directly on FedEx.
Mookie, you haven't been listening. We didn't even get in the parking lot. Remember, I had to park on the street. So we talked it out in the car from the street on the way home. So no, we were not taking anybody's spot. But
we wouldn't do that. Yeah, we're actually sitting in the parking lot in a spot, Jeff, like some folding chairs.
Yeah, we're guarding the spot for our next arrival. Heat style heist. I get it. And the other issue that he was saying was that they all get done at different times. I would think they'd be able to do sort of a batch process every morning. The ones that are done from Burbank, they could return. But yes, the liability apparently is too much of an issue. Abel mentioned this, which is also, Chris and I talked about this several times, including on the way home, but PSA does not allow it. There is no pickup. Nope. There's no pickups. They have to be mailed to you. The only way you can get it is if you do on-site grading at a show, which only a few shows offer. The West Coast Card Show does offer that, but you've got to get it in really early and pick it up by the end of the show.
And it's like what, $2,500 or something like that? Yeah, something around that.
Very high minimum cost.
Yeah. So I mean, it is a bummer. But again, by the way, I really appreciate the Heat reference. With that Docs cards, excellent reference. I would be more concerned about the cards on the way out of the shop, because once it's in a slab with a number, I feel like it's pretty traceable who should own that card. But when they're raw, I don't know. There's a lot of questions, a lot of situations.
And Evan, Burbank does deliver them, and I think it's PSA that delivers to PSA because they are officially PSA employees at Burbank. I'm not sure how that process goes. Like Chris said, maybe it's better not to know. Otherwise, it'd be too worrisome. Yes, but I don't know if it's done on a daily basis, a weekly basis. I could imagine they don't want to leave those in the shop.
I wouldn't think so.
As them now being under PSA's jurisdiction, as it were. But
yeah, I would wonder, like what one of the things you and I talked about is what they could do. What might be being discussed is maybe they could do like Friday is pickup day. Like you pick up your subs, they can only do it one day, and then they can hire like an armored car to take them from Santa Ana to Burbank. I get that's expensive on a daily basis. Don't want to do that. But once a week, I could see that being like a move that they do in the future. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how many subs they get. I'm sure there's a lot of like just waiting to see how this process goes, how popular it is.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens with it. Like we talked about on here and on Spitball, and the whole PSA GameStop relationship turned out to be way bigger than they could have possibly imagined. That seemed to just be like a blip on the radar, and now it's one of their hugest ways of getting cards in and sending cards back. And that's creating its own problems with GameStop employees being charged with theft. And
that seemed completely inevitable to me, Jeff.
It did.
I'm not leaving my stuff with anyone who doesn't directly work for PSA. You're telling me that fat ass at GameStop isn't going to be, and I'm sorry, that's mean of me to say, isn't going to be tempted to just rip up my order form and walk out with those cards? I mean, get out of here. I'm not trusting GameStop. No way.
Yes. It's happened several times already. So yeah, I feel like maybe they're a little bit more gun shy on some of this stuff, and this being the first. But in any case, it was still a huge disappointment. I understand it, but I thought this was going to really alleviate a lot of our concerns. And in reality, it just makes things slightly easier because we can drop things off at the shop instead of at the show.
Yeah. It is, and it is significantly easier, Jeff, because now we don't have to wait for the show. If we happen to decide we have like even one or two cards we need to sub, we have the option right there to get the process started. The guy said they should show up in our account. He said a week to 10 days.
Yeah. So whether that's quicker than the mail or not, I don't really know what the mail is at now. I know our last submission took a long time from the drop off to get into the system anyway. Yeah, the other thing that Chris alluded to a little bit was I had a couple really low-end cards that I wanted to get slabbed that I was considering bringing along. And I thought, well, if we can just drop them off there for the $19.99 a card and just pick them up in 3 months or 6 months, whenever they finish, great. But I'm glad I didn't do that, because that would have taken a separate order and I would need the $30+ insured shipping just to get those one or two cards back. Yep. So that in that way, that's another disappointment.
Yes, I did just want to go back. Ju Kim here, he pulled a really amazing in that like triple MVP set that Topps put out.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Kim here pulled an Ohtani Schmidt dual auto, which sounds amazing. That sounds like two guys who probably don't have a lot of dual autos, Jeff. I would love to see this. So yeah, I believe it was a redemption. So yeah, when you get that, please show me a picture of it. And yeah, I think that would look really great in a PSA slab.
You mentioned at West Coast they do on-site. They have, but there's a lot of restrictions about it. Like Chris said, the minimums, the cost minimums, it's like Super Express or above, maybe.
I think you had to get it. I'm sorry to cut you off. I think we had to get it in Thursday.
Yes, that's just
and then you could pick it up like Sunday morning or maybe by Saturday.
Yeah.
If it was like the upper level. But yeah, you got to get it in by Thursday to get it back.
And the first time we went back to pick up, they didn't have them yet, so I had to go back a little later in the day. So you just have to make sure that it works with your schedule. So definitely read the fine print and get in early. I think, like Chris said, I think they all have to be in Thursday.
And this is a great question. Like, it's that M. Parsons says, how are all the FedEx packages not getting immediately stolen? To me, the more concern is like I said before, it's the incoming ones that freak me out more, because the outgoing ones, like those are all serial numbered. Like those slabs all have numbers. They're all basically assigned to people already. So if they steal those and try to sell them, it should be very easy to determine that those are not theirs. But the incoming stuff that's raw, that's the stuff that freaks me out more. So I am very relieved, Jeff, that step for us and for other people in the LA area, that step is out of the.
Yeah, and you hope whatever procedures they have in place, whatever controls they have in place, that they are well insured on that inputting end, because Chris saw a pretty big stack of cards behind the counter there. That stack would disappear. There's a lot of liability there.
Yes, and she also points out that I'm going to the shop anyway. So yeah.
There was one comment. Mr. Pliskin, you think the PSA 10 bubble will eventually burst when 6 in that PSA 9 is usually just as good condition, but got screwed by some arbitrary BS grader? I don't think that's entirely true. It's true that we've seen some PSA 9s that look better than some PSA 10s and some PSA 10s that probably don't deserve it. I don't see a bubble bursting. Maybe the values will come a little bit more in proportion, but especially on rarer cards, PSA is still just the one to have.
Yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying. And a lot of times Jeff and I look for like a PSA 9 to buy because it's cheaper and it's going to look just as nice. And for some rare stuff, who cares? But I don't see that premium going anywhere anytime soon. It's the industry standard, the hobby standard. It is what it is. I know that the company's not perfect, and I got absolutely blasted in one of the comments of one of our videos for supporting them. But if you're going to put money into your collection, I feel like you want to put it into a place where you'll get value for it. And at this point, it is what it is. Like,
I don't think there has to be such a collectors versus investors mentality. Yes, so a true collector maybe never sells a card, but like we've talked about several times, and we even on our most recent Ohtani video, we love to collect cards and buy cards, but we can't just keep buying cards. We have to sell some cards in order to have enough money to buy those other cards we want. So maybe that makes us less of a collector, but the fact that we have to do that shows us that we want to get the best resale possible value. And there's a lot of PC cards that Chris and I aren't grading anymore because of those issues with PSA. A lot of them were just going in one touches and staying there. But for resale value, for ease of resale, transparency in resale, and resale value, PSA is the way to go.
Yeah, I think A. Plummerman is in agreement, and I would agree with him that, I think PSA 9s have room to go up, because when we see raw cards outselling PSA 9s.
I do not get, especially with the cost of grading and the harshness of PSA grading now. They're much harsher on centering. You're much less likely to get 10s. We did. I think maybe we'll put a little video together of the process at some point.
Yes, I'll put up a reel tomorrow morning about our little adventure at PSA. I see. I'm concerned M. Parsons is putting together a bit of a plan here.
Yeah, I don't know if this is coming from a storyteller screenwriting point of view, or if it's coming from a criminal angle. So
I don't know, but she's already changing her mind about where she's going to hit. It just, honestly, Jeff, all of this, it just makes me want to watch Heat again.
Heat is such a great movie.
It's been a few years since I've seen it. I think we need to do a screening. Yeah,
we need to do a screening, and then maybe we can have a Heat-centric trivia.
Ooh. Quiz. Yeah, there'll be no 800 Club on that one.
Absolutely, Chris. You don't have, and if you like other slabs, CGC, or is it CGC?
Yeah.
It was CSG. Now it's CGC, right? But they have the clearest slabs.
The tag ones look nice.
Tag ones look nice. So whatever you want for your personal collection. I agree that PSA does some crappy stuff. They have relationships with some people that I wouldn't like to have relationships with, but there's an element of OCD in keeping the collection together, and there's also an element of wanting to have that resale value.
I wanted to.
We're going to sell our cards when we're
gone. Because let's be realistic. Like, there's a lot of stuff that you and I and other people have purchased or have, and we think, well, this is a PC card. It's never going anywhere, but it does. Something comes up, and
it goes somewhere. Yeah.
So down the road, I mean, honestly,
anything that 70s or 80s trivia will do. Well, it's what happens when you watch a show with a couple old guys who are nostalgic for the 80s. You might get some.
Yeah, I just wanted to show this. If anyone was wondering, inside the Burbank shop, and please don't look at who I'm having chats with. Inside the Burbank shop, they have it almost looks like a little playhouse. Like that you would have for your kids.
Window, playhouse window. That's the takeout window right there.
Yeah, or it's missing like a little princess castle that it could have. But yeah, this is what you go up to, and there's a gentleman right there, and they have it all organized in the back. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, and it works out. It's very smooth. It's very easy. Drop off your cards and walk around the shop, and throw some money away on wax.
Throw some money away in wax. They've got plenty of individual players if you like to look for quarter cards or dollar cards of players. Ryan, I get this. A lot of CGC fans, the CGC slabs are very crystal clear, very clear. Tag slabs are nice. They are crackable by hand, so that's another issue. Yeah, all grading companies have their advantages and shortcomings, for sure. I mean, that's why Chris and I do not look to be sponsored by any sort of grading companies, because we have things to say about all of them. But just from a logical standpoint, if you're looking for resale value, then I would look at PSA for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the protection. That's the protection you got. There's literally millions of dollars in that Burbank shop. So,
yeah, I mean, this is just kind of what we're looking at. Like, in terms of what's being graded and where most of it is going, you can see Beckett is at this point. I mentioned to someone in a Facebook group who was asking about Beckett, and we were like, I don't think you should. And he got really upset. He's like, oh, but I had all those magazines. I'm like, yeah, but that's just it's gone now.
It's a great lesson, Chris, in how to just sort of bottom out a great IP, a great built-in value in the name. Yeah. They've just Dr. Beckett doesn't work there anymore, but his name's still there. I'm sure he's got to be cringing with all his millions of dollars.
Sorry, just wanted to laugh at this. Battery, as always, with a clever comment. You can just see how much is being graded. I mean, PSA is doing 3 times what the second highest one is.
And CGC, that a vast majority of CGC is trading card Pokemon Correct. Games. They're very far behind in sports.
Yes. And to be fair, a lot of the PSA is also doing a bunch of that. But I mean, yeah, as far as sports goes, it's more than 3-1. It's probably closer to 6-1. And then you can see SBC is largely vintage. Month
that PSA made it over 1 million. Over 1 million of those cards graded are TCG Pokemon. So I'd be more concerned about that bubble bursting than the sports bubble. But you can see why we haven't been getting any PSA specials for sports cards lately. And they even bumped up the price of Pokemon grading because over 1 million TCG cards.
Oh yeah, JD cards. This is very that's important. You got to know who you're looking for sure. Sorry.
Not that we're encouraging this. Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Mookie, here's 3 great references in one. I used to read Beckett while watching Who's the Boss, as did I. Both jumped the shark. And what is jumping the shark coming from that? Man, that's a phrase you hear a lot. And there's a lot of millennials that use it that have no idea where it came from, Chris.
Yeah, what TV show, we'll give you a hint. What TV show did jump the shark, the phrase, come from? Because a character quite literally jumped a shark.
And a very, very cool, calm, collected.
Oh, I like what you did there.
All right. Then we've got some fans. We've got some fans.
There we go. All right.
It was the Fonz, and there is a bronze statue of the Fonz in Milwaukee.
Hold on. Let me see here. There was who we were. Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, hey, Chris. Real quickly, Ryan McDonald. Let me see. Have you ever read the PSA magazine? Talk about a PSA circle jerk. Well, full transparency. A few years ago, they actually interviewed Chris for the magazine. Which was that the J-Rod?
That was about Julio Rodriguez. Yeah, I was featured in that magazine, and yeah. But that said, I think your description of it is quite accurate.
You're absolutely right. But yeah, if you ever want to see Chris's POV on J-Rod from 2022.
It was a long time ago. Yeah,
it was in there. It seems to be getting more and more into the circle jerkery, if you will.
Excellent word.
Yeah.
But yeah. Let's not to discuss. Oh, I see someone water skiing. Yeah, Bazooka Tom. As of right now, no, we have no plans to sort of begin doing that. It is something we have talked about, but as of right now, we are not going to be becoming like group subbers for PSA.
Yeah,
we're happy to, if you're going to do it, we'd love to go and say hello, meet you while you're there, chat about cards.
Let us know if you're going to drop off at Burbank. Yeah, man, I wish they would just let us pick up cards even at the headquarters.
I got my subscription for free. I just want to say,
yeah,
well, they didn't renew it. Can you believe it, Jeff?
They didn't renew your subscription.
They didn't.
Well, I've still got a stack of them in plastic. I can send your way.
I felt like when PSA Magazine was doing cover variations, that might have been a tipping point for all of us to be like, everyone's just calm down.
Cover variations, they're getting graded. Oh, hey, is this Mike? Mike is in the chat. Yes. When you come to the Rangers Angels game, which, man, I can't wait. You have to bring one of those Ohtani Stadium Club autos. Josh Young, Patrick Corbin, and others will want to see it, Chris. You get to impress Major League Baseball players with your collection. What do you think about that?
I mean, that is tempting. I might have to hire that PSA armed guard guy to come with me.
The guy with the bulletproof vest,
right?
You can get down to Anaheim in one piece and through the stadium security.
I would actually love to talk to Patrick Corbin because there was a story on Instagram about him being bit by a spider. A venomous spider that may have saved his career. And I really wanted to ask him questions about this. Is Patrick Corbin as close to Spider-Man as we're going to get as a real human society? I'm curious. I want to know his thoughts on that. I want to know if he's aware of that story that's going around Instagram, how much truth there is to it. But I would love to know.
Didn't your wife also get bit by a dangerous spider? Does she and Patrick Corbin have something in common?
She got bit by a spider on her face at a softball game. It wasn't venomous, but the bite from the spider ended up getting infected.
Jeez.
But it wasn't spider venom. Yeah. You know,
so you would have been that close to Spider-Man, Spider-Woman.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, that would have been a million times better than that Madam Web debacle that some people sat through. I watched 25 minutes of it, and I moved on. Our time is short on this planet, Jeff.
It's smart. Avoid that. M. Parsons points out that maybe Mike is planning this heist, and Michigan Cards and Graphs. We get to the game and we see Josh and Patrick walking up to Chris with baseball bats.
All right. We're gonna have to check these messages. I don't want to see any contact between M. Parsons and Mike. I don't like where this is potentially going. Oh, awesome. Cool.
Corbin is really cool. Loves collecting quarterback cards. Awesome. Oh man, yes, we absolutely can't wait. Definitely hoping that works out. Mike, I sent you a message from our Blabbin Instagram account at some point this week, so hopefully we can touch base. I know you're busy, so thank you.
Yeah, I would love to meet someone who actually is successful throwing left-handed. I still grumbled to my dad about why he let me throw left-handed and bat right-handed when I was young. Like, why didn't one of those had to switch? And it's pointless. It's completely pointless.
Well, no, you could still your dream of making a major league roster as a left-handed reliever out of the bullpen still alive.
Yeah, I mean, if I could throw really hard 2 or 3 days a week, Jay, for 20 pitches, maybe I can make the Hall of Fame.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting kind of late. It's been a long week of camps over here for my kids. And I tell you what, Chris, the camps that my kids go to now. So Huey had this, he's going to a basketball camp where they play on this really cool sports court. They play these tournament games. Sports card bite. Yeah, Chris has it too. And my daughter, we're like, what'd you do at camp today? She's like, well, we had an escape room. It was a Star Wars themed escape room, and we made lightsabers. I'm like, oh, man. The thought of this when I'm 8, 9 years old, man. But anyway, yeah, it's been a long week, so I gotta make sure they get to bed. But thank you everybody for joining us. Real quickly, Mike. No, this is a quick no. Chris and I, interesting story, Mike. Chris and I went down to Anaheim to see some batting practice. It happened to be the All-Star Game batting practice. What year was that, Chris?
David Ortiz won the home run derby while we were there. So yes. I don't know what year it was. 2011,
10. It was soon after we met each other. Chris got tickets to Anaheim, and we went down there for the All-Star workout and home run derby, and that was awesome. But we were nowhere near the field. We were still a great distance.
Yeah. It was still very cool. We've watched BP, but never up close. We are very excited at the prospect of this. I take no responsibility for what Jake might do. It's just, but yeah,
I'm very excited as well. Yeah,
nice.
All right. Well, Megan Parsons is singing us off. This song has been in Chris's head since he came up with the trivia. If you're not a Who's the Boss fan, just go and watch the opener. Or
if you watch the opening credits, if on YouTube, you have to search for opening credits. Like it's not in the first season. I think they added it sometime middle of the run.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, if you search for Who's the Boss opening credits, like final season, you're sure to see it. But we will post the breakdown. Of the slide on our Instagram account.
Yes,
tonight.
Then you'll get the full argument between Tony and Mona back there. BFG, thank you for volunteering. Thanks again to Iowa Dave for sending me and my son these Chourio jerseys. Huge thanks from Brewers fans to a Cardinals fan.
Yep.
Anything else you want to say, Chris?
If you haven't seen, Jeff and I put out a video on some Ohtani cards that we both sold and bought. Check that out if you get a chance to. It was kind of a little roller coaster for us, but I think it ended up pretty well. Yep. And yeah, I'm excited to meet some Rangers players and have them assault me with a bat to steal my baseball card. It's gonna be fun.
That would probably be worth it, at least, especially if it's your card.
If we get some footage on that, we could make a good, get a good Instagram reel out of it.
That's true. Yeah. Thank you, JD Cards, and thank you, Drew, for watching the video. Appreciate that. All right, give your parents a call. Hope you all had a good Father's Day for those of you who are fathers, or if you have your father, hope they had a good Father's Day. Give your parents a call, give your pets a hug, and we'll see you, I don't know, sometime next Thursday, Chris.
Yeah. I'm here. Let's do unless you've got an impromptu Little League game. We'll see you guys next Thursday. That's right, Dr.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. That's true. That should be a theme.
I love this for Michigan Cards and Graphs.
Maybe if you could get on a top card from 2026, it might be worth it.
I'll take a bat to the head for that. No problem. By the way, hold on. Show the Jim Rice card that Los Bravos won.
Yeah.
Show the Jim Rice card Los Bravos won. Just hold that up. I don't think you saw it. That's your prize, Los Bravos.
Speaking of men who look terrifying with a bat in their hands, here's Jim Rice coming at you.
Yeah, I'm not going to let him hit me for anything.
No. All right, thanks everybody. We'll see you soon. Check out the shows on the channel.